Awesome. Yes.
We're on time. Let's go ahead and get started.
Okay.
So 9:30
Hey,
and
how are you?
we'll begin our meeting. I guess first of all, let me just say thank you, David Bell, for being
Oh,
here
you're very welcome.
today.
Nice to see you.
And Kristen, thank you for being here in Brittany's shoes, and then some. And you're filling so many roles, so thank you for all that you're doing. Let's see. For the agenda, are we all in? Is the agenda looking acceptable to everyone? All right. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll put forth a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Okay, Maureen has a motion.
I'll second.
And Candy seconds, and all in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you. All right, we can move on to the approval of August 13th board meeting minutes. We do have a little bit of work to do since we didn't get to circulate them before.
You have to speak up a little bit for me, dear. I've got them up as high as I can get them.
Okay. I will do my best to
All right.
project
There,
my
you
voice.
need your teacher
this
voice.
time I can. This meeting
Yeah.
I can. I don't have an issue in my throat. Okay. So since we weren't able to circulate the minutes before the meeting today, I do have some things that I would ask everyone to consider, and if we need to amend the minutes as follows, then we can. So for number 4, I would just ask that we spell questers accurately throughout this paragraph, just out of respect for the questers. It is S with plural, so
It is what?
S needs to be on
It's
the
plural all the way through?
all the way through.
Okay.
Questers is plural, and so out of respect for the questers,
Oh,
let's
okay.
make sure we have that accurate throughout the paragraph, please. There's just 2 places that it needs to be added. And Candy, after this, if you and I need to just kind of sit and look through it together after the meeting, just to make sure we're all good, then I'm happy to spend the time if you'd like. So, just to make sure we've got all the things. In letter D, under patrons of the Callahan House, the last sentence, I don't know if that sentence is accurate, because I don't remember that Ben was to send an email out.
We're on B, patrons of the Callahan House?
Yes.
Yes.
5 feet?
Yes.
Yes.
So the last sentence, I think we should strike it out because I don't remember him saying he was going to send an email saying the website was ready to be tested, and then on top of that, I don't remember seeing any email from him or from Brittany from him about
Well, but
email.
I specifically remember him saying that.
And during that time, Sue Ellen, I believe, she was out of town, and she's the one who can turn on and off the user group access for WebTrack. And so I don't explicitly recall what he said verbatim.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Take your words
Maybe we
for
can
it,
strike
but-
it if you want, but
I would
Sure.
say let's strike it because
But I
there
do
was no
remember
email
that.
that occurred, and I just don't want there to be anything that shows that he failed to do that, because I don't think that was ever intended
Well, and
to be
it
done.
still isn't, is
Yeah.
the case. So he
So.
hasn't sent it because the website is not ready to be tested. We're still dealing with a lot of issues, but I'm
We'll
whatever.
just strike that last sentence out. In C, future restoration preservation, the word dining room, it's uppercase. That D just needs to be lowercase.
they're both uppercase all the time?
No, when I see, it's like the 3rd line from the bottom. It begins with memory lane for the restoration of the dining room furniture.
Oh, it's
just
uppercase,
an
and
uppercase there, and it
should
really
be
needs
a
to be a
lowercase.
lowercase.
So I'm saying the D and the R should always be uppercase.
No,
No, should be
lowercase, please.
lowercase.
Just lowercase dining.
Oh, okay, well, I had it right
Just
the
right
first
there.
time then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the lower one.
Okay.
The lower one on the lower one should be lowercase.
There you go. You said it well. Okay. And then over to the page 3, the fall tea. I think something that is important to include, and it's up to you all, because I said I would email the drafted invite language to the board for comments and review before sending out to the invitees, because nothing is done without everyone on the board being on board with it. So, and that did happen. So if we could just add a sentence right before members of the committee are, if we could just say, Karen will email the drafted invitation to the board for any comments before sending it to the invitees.
Karen will email the draft of invitation
To the
to the
board.
board
Yeah.
for approval.
For comment
approval.
and
Yeah.
approval before
Yeah, for
before
approval.
sending it to the invitees, because that had to happen.
For approval and before sending, basically.
Okay.
Okay. In the holiday decorating paragraph, I might suggest making the new paragraph, and this is so that it just goes together with the second paragraph. There are two paragraphs. Halfway through the first paragraph, where are the words, the next meeting date will be September 2nd. I think it flows well and connects well with the second paragraph. So if we can just make that a new paragraph, and then it connects to that second paragraph. So it is all in one second paragraph that it starts
Okay.
with. And that's just, it's just reading. It's easy on the eyes, flow, you know, so that no one gets confused. I also would suggest committee members, where you have at the end of holiday decorating, members of the committee are Candy Shy and Maureen McCoy, co-chairs, Julie Brown, Karen Cruz, and Cindy Martini. If we can be consistent and put committee members after that, like you have up here in Faulty and.
Okay, you lost me because you didn't even get me at the beginning where you were. So.
Okay, in holiday decorating, the
Okay.
very end, where you have.
Members of the committee?
You have, they are, and Candy Shy and Maureen McCoy co-chairs, Julia Brown, Karen Cruz, and Cindy Martini. In other references, you do it that way, but then you say committee members after you've listed the members. Can we be consistent that way?
Like
Sure.
we're saying committee members twice then? Like members of the committee are, and
Yeah.
then we're saying committee members at the end as well?
Yeah, and but we have it in other places too, so I'm just trying to be consistent.
Okay.
Simple little thing, but it's easier on the eyes.
I didn't realize co-chair.
You are. You didn't know you were signed up for that, didn't you?
No. I didn't. I thought it was just a member.
Well, I can change that because I thought you were a co-chair way back when we
Oh,
talked about this.
that's fine, but it's
So-
been a while since. So,
Well, that's-
then
Me
I'll
too.
step up to the plate, Candy. I've been letting you handle it, and I feel bad.
That's fine. I didn't want to feel like I was.
Well, you're
taking
contributing
over,
a
but-
lot of items, so.
Well,
Yes, that's true.
yes and no. I'm working on stuff
When
here.
we
so-
first talked about it, we both
Okay,
agreed to be co-chairs. So.
my memory tends to be a little lackadaisical, so thank you for the reminder. I feel really bad.
Okay, so
backstage.
the second to last item I have is under new business, the formal garden. The last sentence, Ben Wagner will be taking a look at the lawn leveling next year. I'm not sure if that's accurate. If I remember right, he said that
Well, that was
the city
edited
wasn't
by
able to do
Brittany.
it. Oh, well, when he told us in the meeting, he said the city wasn't going to be able to do it. And so
He didn't say
that's-
that we weren't going to do it.
No.
We weren't doing it right now.
Oh, okay.
But that was specific.
It's always on
specifically
that.
what Brittany
That
added.
project is on an agenda. Like it is on a to-do list. It's just not happening actively at this moment. We have a really small window to
that
do
was a
it.
misunderstanding because I thought he said we weren't doing it. Flat out. It wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, I thought the city was.
And that's
Gonna be
my
able to-
understanding.
So we were going to need to get outside bids, and he said, well, I said, well, why don't we go ahead and get outside bids? And he
And he
said,
said,
oh, well,
well,
we
we
already
do.
have one. And I said, well, how much is it? And we were called somewhere around 40,000 or something like that. And so it was just so I was confused when I saw that. I went, wait a minute, did something
Well, I mean,
change?
this doesn't say that it doesn't say that the city is, I mean, it just says that Ben is going to take a look at the lawn leveling next year. That leaves a lot.
And I do know
to go
that was
for.
specifically added.
Brittany added that.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And then the only other question I have about this paragraph is that I shared quite a bit of detail of information, and none of it is even reflected
Didn't
in this
think it was
paragraph.
apropos or necessary because you had a whole handout that could be attached if we needed to attach it. So
Well,
this was basically what we talked about.
there was no handout given during the meeting, and only now that it's attached to this board packet do we have something that's in.
I think
in
we've
print.
also repetitively said that the minutes are supposed to be a summary of actions, and
Right.
there weren't any actions taken. You read verbatim
Right.
from your piece of paper,
No.
and so I think
Karen-
this is a good summary of.
A simple sentence of Karen provided some suggestions regarding. Karen provided some history regarding what had happened in 2023 and some suggestions for what should go forward with making a garden plan.
And that's accurate. That is accurate.
One sentence.
I don't think that's
I
easy.
s-
Okay, Jeff, you have
I'm
something?
okay with that.
Karen provided
History.
a history of prior garden recommendations.
And suggestions for a plan going forward.
Recommendation, suggestion, same thing.
There's two parts of the sentence. Karen provided history regarding. I'm sorry, Karen.
And suggestions. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep it succinct and.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, Karen provided a history of prior garden recommendations and gave suggestions
For a garden
For
plan going
proceeding.
forward.
Proceeding will work.
Proceeding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Proceeding works.
Excellent, thank you. Okay. The last little fix I have is under 9, what is listed as C should be B.
Oh, yeah. Not in. Yeah.
Just a
A,
little,
B.
just a little typo thing.
I'm
That's
sorry,
it.
where?
Right here.
But that's it. Does anyone else have anything?
Thank you, Candy.
Thank you,
Again.
Candy.
Yes, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
You're a gem.
Thank you, thank you. I'm sorry we had to do that during the meeting. Always makes it nice to be able to get things done in advance, so. Okay,
So we need approval? Or,
so at this
motion.
point, is there a motion to approve the minutes as amended?
Make a motion.
Jeff has a motion, and is there a
I second.
second? And Julie has a second. All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous, thank you. All right, I don't believe we have any public to be heard today, so we can move on to old business. And that starts with the digitized scrapbook. And Maureen, that's you.
Yes, it is. We met, we had a meeting with the digitized scrapbook, and we met with, the acronym of them. They're the ones that are helping. LPM. Thank you.
Longmont Public Media, yes.
And so
Longmont Public Media, LPM.
LPM. And it's Sergio?
Sergio.
Sergio was great and gave us ideas, and it was good to have a verbal conversation with him so he could understand what exactly we're looking at and how we're going to move forward, and coming up with the combination of AI, taking the 3 scripts and getting it down to what we're looking at to work within the book. And then also, it was interesting, we're still going to scan the books in, but he's also talking about filming them when we do a voice combination. He said it's smoother, it runs better, we can zoom in and out on specific items, and I was very excited on this project moving forward. Now he's going to talk and go back and figure out how much time this is going to put in with it. But once these books are done, and there's 38 of them, this should be a really good thing. And I feel comfortable moving forward that with our procedure that we put forth before the board is where it should be. And so basically we just need to have that finalized. And
How many books are there?
38?
38?
Isn't there 38? No?
It's a little
Am I
high.
miscounting?
It's a little high. It's okay though. But all of the books
I
It's
think
not
there were
38.
That sounds like a lot of books.
That's a lot of bucks.
A lot of
How
It's
many
more in the
books?
teens.
It's teens?
Yeah.
Oh, 15? 15, 16? I was
So
thinking we're 30.
we're good.
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
fine.
combining,
Okay.
I was combining all my Quester
I didn't
books.
want to.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I,
have
was like,
38
I know you have a
Quester
lot you're
books.
doing. You might be confusing.
And yeah, I
But
am.
it's
I'm
okay.
combining my life. I so apologize. 15, but even at that, now that we have a
Still.
procedure
Significant.
in place and we know what we're doing, this is a good thing, and how we're going to label them, and then we also found out that they want to receive the books in mass as one whole group rather than book by book as we complete them.
The
At
museum.
once?
The
At the
museum.
museum.
does
At the
it.
museum.
Yeah, when we submit it for.
When we-
After you're
yeah,
done with your
for
projects,
archival.
for archival.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the whole goal, is so we're trying to get it available for everybody that can use it. So it can be used by school children, it can be used by people that are visually impaired, it can be used all around. And this is exactly the procedure and project we want. And
It's excellent.
I'm very
It's
excited
very-
about this. Seeing that I brought this up, I don't know how many, it's kind of become a rabbit hole.
It's very exciting.
Initially, the thought was, what would happen if the house burnt down, or if something happened with these books, and all that history would be lost. So, yeah, we're going to continue moving forward. We've got so much stuff on our plate that probably I will try to get the first one done, but we'll see how it all.
Where are all the books housed? Upstairs?
Mm-hmm.
And then the one that you're working on right now is with.
Here
Is it
or
here too?
with Longmont
Wait,
Public Media?
well,
Do they have it?
No,
Oh, okay.
Brittany has it.
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah.
yours.
Okay, yeah.
And we also decided that we're going to pick a couple articles to go more in depth, and 2 to 3 per book that'll be much more in depth read verbally.
Any others?
So again, within reason, I'm very excited. So,
It's great news. Thank you.
Mhm.
Anything else?
nope, that's it.
Okay.
Do you need to set a meeting, or do you have a next step with that one?
I do need to set a meeting. My life is kind of in a scramble at the moment.
That's why I just want to make sure I get enough notes to tell Brittany. So
Yeah.
when she asks me, I asked that.
Do you
That's
have
all.
house availability for the
I have the
Tuesdays
Callahan
and
house calendar,
Thursdays?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Would you guys be willing to look at your calendars for me and see where we're at?
I apologize, Maureen. I just didn't know if you were waiting to hear
No.
back from Sergio to
No.
move into the next step. That's all.
No, we're going to move forward with what we've got, and we've got a lot of work to do. And
Sure.
that's the placement of the letters and everything on the page. We do. Is everybody available to work on the 23rd? Is that possible?
My schedule is foggy around that time. I may be out of town.
Okay, I understand.
I mean, you guys can meet. I mean, you can meet anyway, but just uncertainty.
I can't on the 25th, and the 30th is out of the question. Can't do it on the 2nd either. Which really brings us right back to right before the board meeting here. Is it okay with you? I'm going to go ahead and set the meeting for the 23rd in the morning, and if you can make it, great. If you can't, Karen and I
That'd be
can
fine.
start
That's fine
working
with
on
me.
lettering and numbering, because it's basically
Right.
the judge work.
Okay.
So 9:23 at what time?
Let's start at 9, if possible. Is that too early?
Is 9 okay?
9 is okay. I myself have a meeting that morning at 9:30, but I can join it virtually. It's the leadership, so if I can just be here and just join on Teams for that meeting.
That'd be great.
So I can be in my house. Let's see what I have at 11. I have another online meeting at 11, so
Would that
I'm good
work
to be
out
here at
okay
9
for
you
you?
guys? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks. Okay. We'll move on then to patrons of the Callahan House, and We did have our committee meeting on August 26th, during which we tested the system and it was not working then. So we did put together a list of instructions for any user to use to go through it to the point that we could, and we stopped at step 7. So all of that was provided to Brittany, and she responded to us saying she would share this information with Ben and Kristen. So that's where it rests, and that's the last I know of regarding the use of that system. We also had some other just changes to content or language that were on the Callahan House page, City of Longmont website, and submitted those to Brittany, and she's responded to each of those requests for changes of language that came out of prior meetings by all the committee. So that is the status there. We are going to go ahead and promote the Callahan, Patrons of the Callahan House donor program at Art Walk. It's our hope that one way or the other, we're at least beginning to get the wheels going on the track as far as information out to the public, and with some hope the city will be able to work through the kinks of the system. Do you have an update on
being
that?
able to bypass the guest or sign in as a guest is still not active, which is not only affecting this. It's golf
affecting
sales,
everything.
it's ticket sales at the museum, it's anybody who just wants to buy something that doesn't have a City of Longmont account.
Mm-hmm.
So at this moment, I just checked, and Sue Ellen, our rec track, admin supervisor, sent out an email earlier last week saying that there was a new update coming, but even with the new update to rec track, which talks to web track, this guest portion is still not, and it's not only us that's unhappy about it. Like I said, it impacts museum sales. Like, now to buy a ticket to a show, you have to have an account, and then there's a double verification that's also coming with the update that when you create a new account, you have to verify your email before you then can use
And it's different from your City of Longmont billing account. Is that correct?
Yes, this is just, I say recreation, but widely because it's also used, other departments do use WebTrack.
In the museum, like the patrons of not the Friends of the Museum, they bypass it because they are
They don't use RecTrack because they're their own financial entity that's taking and doing money on their own.
So I will share a little bit too. Just
Sure,
as
please.
Christine, you kind of mentioned, this is very high level. It's nothing that we have really in the works right now, other than that frustration goes all the way up to city manager. So Harold has been frustrated with this as well. So we probably be looking at RecTrack and other options that are out there. It's pretty challenging, just for the fact that I think that the system the museum uses and almost all others end up taking a cut of your proceeds, which can be significant. Especially when we're in a 80% recovery mode, we're always looking where to save. So RecTrack is the only program that doesn't do that we see right now. So first of all, we need to look to see what else is out there that is cost effective, meet some of these things. Then also when you switch programs over, it takes training new staff, it takes migrating information, it takes retraining the public on your new system. So just so you know, it is going to be looked at. It won't be quick, and I think right now we're kind of stuck with some limitations of RecTrack. But it is a frustration that is kind of felt throughout the organization too.
Well, thank you for sharing that information. We didn't realize that it took a cut.
Yeah, every other program out there is taking like 3 or greater % cut of your total sales.
Wow.
So RecTrack has the fee on credit cards, but everyone else is your full profit. They take a cut of that as well.
Oh, wow. That's good to know. That's good. Let's face it, we are trying just to get people to donate to the home for the restoration. And I know I would be really happy if I know that whatever I put in doesn't go straight to the house. It's getting a big chunk getting taken out already.
Right.
And there's no opportunity for the user to
We're-
cover that, where in other platforms
Exactly.
there is.
Yeah.
So how long a chunk of time do you think it will take to get this changed over and be ready to
Well, we
actually
haven't-
use something
Yeah.
else?
We haven't.
I know you
signed
haven't.
up.
I'm just going to tell you right now, it'll probably be at least a year.
I did a migration at my last job from web-based programs from ActiveNet to PerfectMind, and it's hard.
And
I'll
I
use
just,
that word.
probably this
It's
is probably
very
first time
hard.
Kristen say this is probably a real look at this, kind of from Harold on down. But Jeff and I are going to look at how we can look at this, and we have a new assistant city manager coming in. Jen Odo,
Uten.
yes, Jen Uten is our new assistant city manager, so she's going to have some new ideas as well. So it will take some time, but I think the big piece is we're looking at it, which means we're probably going to have to continue with RecTrack as is until we kind of find a system-wide approach.
Okay.
What do you suggest we do with our patrons?
I think that, and this is my only thought, is that you have it so beautifully put on the website so that if someone is seeking out to be a patron, they don't have to go through the portal. They can
Right.
speak to Brittany directly. They can write her a check. They can, and I know you guys have talked about the plaque at the front and different ways to acknowledge them. I don't think that the website is going to hinder people from becoming said patron of the Callahan House, especially if they're not tech savvy and they're not thinking that they're going to donate through the website to begin with because they want to write a check, which they can't do virtually. So I personally don't think that it is going to keep the people who are wanting to become a patron at these high levels, right? We're not just talking $50, this is big money that is coming in. So I think that it will always be a conversation with Brittany regardless. Someone might just be interested on where their money is going to go after they donate it.
So right now what I kind of envision us doing is just pivoting a little bit. And while we have our information on the website, just making it possible for someone to simply click and print the form and mail it in with a check is probably going to be what we've talked about previously in committee meeting as needing to have that option anyway. It sounds like that is going to be more likely the option that people will want to choose one way or the other, whether they are tech savvy or not, or whether they have a login or not. So I think that we may just be pivoting a little bit and going from that approach. And if it's possible to have that tech support on the back end, once we've come up with, okay, here's when we get to the web page, this is what we see. All right, now here's what we want our user to see and then do. And if we can kind of come up with that that thought process and that kind of procedure, then we can put together what we would like for the website to illustrate and to lead people in the path that we're hoping.
What
to
it would
get
do
them to.
is, if we could have that option, that would eliminate the I'm done with this, walk away from it.
Right.
Because it was so frustrating sitting there and trying to get in and do all that stuff and then getting,
And right now it does say, start by completing the online form below, and then it will direct you to make your monetary donation. But if you have questions or you want to fill out the form and by mail, please contact the house manager, and it has her email and phone number.
Right.
So
And I
it's
think-
there. It tells them
there.
they can do that.
I think
Well,
that
I
there
don't know
are
that it
also
is.
some.
But the question I think that was posed to, if I may, in the email to Brittany, where we said, add a, click and check and if you wish to pay by check, click the link, or
Or
it would
print
just
the
be a
page.
PDF, and it would. We'd
Just
like
print-
a PDF.
print the
just,
document.
Yeah,
print
and
it.
I
And
think
she said,
Brittany's-
Ian said he would have to approve adding a PDF,
Yes.
which the city tends to discourage due to additional IDA requirements. For now, she has added the in-person or by mail, but please contact. So if we can get approval that, because this is why we need this, we really do want somebody
And
to be
the-
able. We don't want to force someone to have to call someone. If they just want to print the page and write the check and mail it, please do.
Okay, I think the form is pretty simple of what the PDF would be.
It is.
Mhm.
It's
It's
very
really simple.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to go back and ask about PDFs because I know that I have also been asked to take my PDFs off the website due to those.
And it was a matter of ADA requirements.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jeff, do you have a question? You were.
This, So we concluded that system's not working now.
Right.
Is that
It is.
correct?
It
Yes,
is
for a
working. You
guest.
just have to create an account, which is an email.
Okay,
That's all you have to do is basically create an account. It is working. You can certainly do it, and if someone already has an account, then there's no issue at all.
right. So we tried to do the guest approach, which didn't work. It's not working. at the
We
moment.
tried the business, we tried,
Well, we even tried the login, and Candy, you had troubles resetting your password.
we couldn't, yeah, it wouldn't even acknowledge
We had-
resetting it.
we
It
had-
just was frustration up the core. And within the first, I don't know, 30 minutes of doing this, I'm just like, oh, forget it.
I know. I just wanted, for the record, it does functionally
Okay.
work. You can click on the links, you can fill out the information, you can log in, and you can pay. So just functionally, it does work. I have been able to log in on my own account. So that's all I want to make of the record known, is it functionally works.
So we've done the best we can do as far as designing it. It's just a hiccup.
And if we want the PDF, I'll talk to Brittany.
Yeah, I
when she
think
gets
that's
back.
it. Maybe I
Yeah.
think the other piece is kind of making that seem like not a fallback, but as a real option, as equal to, or if you just want to, here's a simple way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Is that?
That's what
yeah,
we like.
I think that would be, and it could also be, Brittany said that day that we were doing it, they were having lots of issues. And so it could have been
they
more
could just-
than
If they
us.
can just
Yeah,
simply
it could've
click
been
on
in-
something, print the
Right.
form, which is a one-page form, by the way. Very simple, very user-friendly. Print the form, one page, boom.
Again, it's
done.
kind of the parallels. This being new to me, but I'm just going to tell you that Jeff, myself, and Zach Artis, who is our interim assistant city manager, are all looking ways to simplify barriers for people to access the city, and especially these things donate. It feels like we're putting up barriers for people to try to give money to programs, be it dog parks or rose gardens or anything else. So we're really trying to figure out ways to do that. So again, we're stuck with some of the city bureaucracy and how we
Yeah.
get to that point, but just know you have people in other areas trying to figure out how we not
how we can get around it.
Yep.
great.
Get around, or
And make it
Harold is very much of, if a system's not working, we need to look at other systems, but it is not. It's easier said than done when you talk about systems that large.
Yes.
And not feasible to wait.
Don't we wish
Right.
we had that magic
Right.
wand?
I know.
So would you like to, and this is just me asking for Brittany, would you like to create the form for what it's going to look like as the PDF? Because right now it is just a clicking, enter your name and email, enter blah, blah, blah.
We already have the form
Okay.
in PDF format.
Okay.
It's already
done.
ready to go.
It's done.
We
It's-
just need to get approval.
It was previously done. And so what is done online through the city's system is based off of that.
But does the
So,
form
but
say
yes,
where
we
to mail
have
it
the
to?
PDF.
Yeah.
It says where to mail it to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
Okay,
I can
cool.
I can forward that to you so that you have it in a PDF for yourself as well.
Sure.
But it's done.
Okay, cool.
So it's good that we, so we're fine to go ahead and move ahead and.
Yeah.
Would you
hang on.
like to get rid of the online donation part and have it strictly, or would you like both?
I think
I
we
say
should
leave
discuss
it.
it a bit more. I think we need to leave it for now until we discuss it a bit
Okay,
further
cool.
in the next committee meeting. Jeff, do you have a?
Well, I mean, it seems that what you're saying, that if someone has an account, they can donate.
So let's leave it.
And if we don't have an account, it doesn't work.
Right.
So should we have the option, we say something explicitly, if you have an account, you can donate that way, or send a check.
I think people will get confused if you say if they have an account. They're not going to I don't know if they'll understand what you mean by an account. An account where, like Maureen mentioned, it's not, or I forget who's mentioned, it's not your city utility billing
Exactly.
account. It's a
Okay. I mean,
If they
can
have
we-
an account, they
Recreation
know
account.
what.
Can we say specifically what that account
Right.
is? It's just, it seems that it's far too confusing at the moment, as we got frustrated because it wasn't working.
I don't think that you can't say it. I know the way Brittany, when she has like clients coming in, they also have to create an account
Right.
via WebTrack, but she doesn't specifically say create a recreation account for us to then continue booking your wedding. The verbiage isn't the same for everybody. Like the firing range even uses
Different.
Okay.
RecTrack.
Should we just, at the present, just ask them to send a check and not give them the option of Any online?
Oh God, I hate to do
I
that.
do too,
Yeah, I'd leave it.
I would leave it,
There are people that will be able to figure this out.
for the ones, bravo to them. And then there's the people like I'm thinking my mother-in-law who would be what, and I'm like, just print the form.
Well, I'm thinking
And write a
businesses and organizations,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
frankly, I don't know that we're going to have businesses and organizations setting up a RevTrak account.
We have lots of
So-
businesses and
but-
organizations
but I
that
don't.
do, but
I don't want to force that. I want them to be able to write a check. I would
I
rather
think
have
both
that
is a great
anyway because
idea.
we
I
want
do
the
too.
full balance of what they're donating anyway, right?
Well, I don't think we're out anything trying to cover all bases. If we have the option to print, great. They can. If they can figure it out, wonderful. But if people get frustrated, they have that option to press the button
Yes.
and move on. And say,
call.
okay.
Well,
Or
we don't-
call.
Make a call.
we
Do
can
an
avoid
official
people getting
call.
frustrated.
That's what
Yes.
I don't want to be
That's
it. That's
the
what I'm
big-
trying to think too. Instead, it should just be if I like your idea, if you have an account, here's where you can go. Guest can do this second option. I mean,
Yeah.
instead of trying to get them frustrated and move to that, maybe it's just, if you're a guest, this is where you should start.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's a good
That could
choice.
simplify it.
I think
And I'm
that's
sorry,
a
I'm
really
trying to
good
fix
choice.
the problem. We'll have time to talk about this, I'm sure, so.
Yes, we'll
Right.
talk
So we
about
can
the
talk about
committee
more.
meeting.
Okay.
Julie, did you have anything else to
No,
add for now? Okay, all right.
We're on the same wavelength here.
Perfect. Well, then what we do need to do, because we have a plan that we're coming to our next meeting prepared with certain things. So let's schedule our next committee meeting. So,
Which is
how is everyone's week next week? Since we've already talked about the 22nd, which is
It's-
looking a little bit questionable, but how's next week looking for everyone?
the 16th. Or-
Either the 16th or the 18th. What works best for everyone?
next week is wild for me. Wild, so I can see if somebody else could come cover the house if you need it on a certain day.
Okay.
I'd probably better say from the 16th
Okay.
Okay,
than the
16th.
18th.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that okay then? Let's go with the 16th.
As long as I can find some, I cannot do the 16th, so as long as I can have
Okay.
someone
Or
here
we
to
can
open
meet
house
at
if Jack
alternate
Hunter wants to.
And then
location.
if you
Or we
could-
can meet in an alternate location.
Sure.
Yeah, if you could let us know.
Yeah, I will ask Jacqueline and Betsy today, actually, and see if either of them are.
And the time, would we be at 9 o'clock or 9:30?
What day are we looking at now?
Tuesday?
The 16th.
The 16th.
With, if you can get Jacqueline.
Or Betsy or somebody to come. I can
If not,
open the
we'll
house
set a
that
different
day.
location.
So,
So the
Yeah, I
time-
mean, you would be more than welcome to
9?
meet over at the
Just
Memorial
9?
Building.
I meet
But
good
staffed all the
Let's go
time.
9.
You could certainly meet there.
let's go with 9 o'clock. Next Tuesday, the 16th. And, and here, unless we hear otherwise. How about that?
Okay.
10 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
No.
Where would you like your backup to be, just in case? Because I don't want to promise the staff. And I don't want you to have to just be frazzled if I don't hear anybody, back in the next day or two. It's
I'll
only
come up with an
Wednesday.
alternative backup. We'll deal with it at that time. Okay. So,
And let me just clarify one more thing. I forget who is sending these out. Who is? Did we put
the
that on?
chairperson is responsible for communicating with the members, the
Okay.
committee members.
Cool.
So the chair of the committee communicates with the committee members.
Okay, thanks for the reminder, because I'm not good at that either.
Okay. Then we'll move on to future restoration.
Well, I'm sorry, what was the backup?
I will.
Karen said
I'll come
she
up with an
would
alternative.
Come up with one
if need
I
be.
can't get a staff here.
But I'll look to hear from you, and hopefully
Yeah,
that'll
mhm.
be just fine.
I will
And
message
then you'll
everyone.
Okay.
email if you.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Then, on to future restoration and preservation. While I'm not so focused on the maintenance list that's attached in the packet, it's more the restoration and preservation list that I wanted us to take a quick peek at, because
Hey guys, I'm really sorry.
What?
I'm looking at the house calendar.
And
There's
do we
clubs
have-
here on Tuesday the 16th. Betsy is working at 9:30 to 2:30 for club meetings.
where
I
are the
can just see
clubs?
where they are. So I'm learning Brittany's house calendar here.
Could we meet in the
Yeah,
auto
hang on,
house?
we have to.
Oh, sorry.
That is always an
Let's
option,
see.
but we need to hear who's where in the house.
So at 12, the dining room. At 10 a.m. the upstairs meeting. 10 to 2 is the upstairs meeting room is booked, and then 12 to 1:30 the dining room is booked. So the house.
We could meet in the dining room.
Could we meet
in the dining
could
room
we?
at 9? Yes.
At 9?
Yes.
What if they've
well
got to
and
be
clear.
set up though?
Betsy will be here at 9:30. I could ask if she could be here any earlier, but know that she is scheduled at 9:30 on Tuesday.
Well, I don't want to be in the way for their setup if they've got to do setup for a meeting. Could we meet in the auto house?
Is that where you? Is that?
I actually like the
meeting
table
spot for you?
because if we need a big surface, it's
Okay.
really helpful.
And don't you usually want for your patrons when you want the?
It's helpful to have a screen.
Mhm.
If we don't have one, I will
That's
have
harder.
my screen, and we can plug into
Mhm.
the TV.
If there's a
Again,
problem,
if we
if
need,
there's
we
a
will-
problem, what I'm saying
we'll
is
work
we
it out.
can always go to the auto house.
It just doesn't have the surface space to work on.
It doesn't?
No, and it doesn't have a screen to plug
Okay.
to. So we can go out and take a look afterward, but it's a sofa and a small. It's not a. We
Big
don't have this
table?
kind of surface we need.
No. Okay.
So
Okay, and so I'll still ask Betsy if she can be here at 9.
that would be great.
That would be
Thank
great.
you. And
Okay, sorry. Back to
Where are we
business
at?
as usual.
Future
where?
restoration?
Yeah.
Confusing.
So I know that Brittany has recently talked about the fountain and about restoration of the floors.
Mm-hmm.
And just so that we stay on track with our focus, we need to probably pay attention to what's on this list and kind of identify maybe a next 1 or 2 projects that we should start to put on the horizon. Okay, we need to begin to consider what next most urgent restoration and preservation item we need to focus on. I don't know if you have any thoughts about this list or if you've had the chance to review it at all.
Well, I know that they're wanting to do a film about the floors here and the condition that they're in. Yeah.
I don't know when he's planning on doing it, but I don't imagine that the floor
Well,
restoration
yeah.
would happen beforehand, so.
But here's my thought. What if we could use it to help promote the restoration, to get it done by them filming with the condition that they're in, and then we can also state that we're planning for restoration. Anybody want to donate?
We could, but I don't know the timeline that the
I
gentleman
think it
has.
was November,
to-
I believe. I have to.
Which
have
is
to speak with them.
not really likely that we'd be able to get any restoration work done between now and 2 months from now. So I think
My,
he's
Okay.
going to take film of the floors as they are.
Yes, they are,
Yeah.
but you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that could we get a quote so we could then say, and we will be restoring the floors, but the cost is going to be blah, blah, blah. If anybody in the community is interested in helping donate for the restoration of the floors of the Callahan house. I look
think
at
Brittany
it
has
using it
a
as an
bid.
opportunity.
Yeah, I think Brittany has a bid, and so potentially that information could be used to provide to him to say a bid if it's only one bid.
I feel like it's been a long time since we've talked about the floors, and it sounded like every time it came up, there hadn't yet been found a person who felt that they
Could do it.
appropriately take care of the floors.
Oh,
Yeah.
There was like the talk of the sanding it down, and then there was talk of us not wanting to just put wax back on it. I feel like we've talked about the floors for a long time, and we haven't found like a professional who feels like and that we all feel good enough about what they know they're doing with the parquet floors.
Yeah.
that's
It's just
really
that,
hard.
I mean, in our last meeting,
And I think
it's
the
in
video-
minutes, it's showing Brittany's looking for bids to do the fountain and floor restorations. That's in the minutes. So-
Okay, she doesn't
So-
have any information at me for
Okay.
me at
For-
this
for-
time.
at this
Okay.
point,
I know she had someone come and look at the fountain,
which is good.
but I don't think she has a quote yet back from them. She did not ask me to share anything.
Okay.
Okay.
So but I know that they came and looked at it.
I guess the thing is, if we could be kept in a loop, because I'm trying to work with this gentleman in regards to the film, if we could use it as, hey, additional opportunity to try to get because let's face it, restoration is very expensive. And if we can get community involvement and interest by showing this film at the senior center, we might get some people to help put some money towards it.
Yes, the last I heard was his deadline was the end of last month to film that. Am I wrong on that he's still interested in filming?
I thought he was still interested in filming, but I can speak with
Okay.
him and go from there.
Brittany had mentioned that he had reached out but asked to film almost immediately, and she
Mhm.
was leaving, and there was an opportunity for him to come at the house, and that was his deadline. So, if it's still on the table,
I
then
will
we
speak with
can
him and we'll
continue.
figure it out
Yeah.
and see if it. I mean, it's a club through the senior center, and
Yeah.
and we'll see if we could push it and see if we could get another opportunity to maybe have him show it in the spring.
Okay.
Again, this
Sounds
is
good. Thank you. Yeah. Great idea. Always to promote
Let's-
fundraising.
Where can we find the money?
Yes. Always good. Always good.
It's like going, okay.
So restoration floors is on our agenda, our schedule at some
Yeah.
point, just what and how.
What and how is
Okay.
the big thing.
So that's probably adequate. I don't think we necessarily need bids or anything or quotes to have in that movie to be that specific. I think it just be general that we're planning to do this and searching for funds, however you want to say that. I think it's great to do that
Okay.
in that.
I'm wondering if I should reach out to History Colorado and see if they have anybody available that does flooring that I could get some more information from.
I can give you the list.
Could you please?
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing that with
Sure.
me?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, no filming is going to happen until Brittany comes back to continue working with Ernie. Is that his name?
Yes, it's
Um,
Thank you.
and
because
then
Mama is
October in the
talking
house
about
is busy.
It's
Busy-
crazy.
It's a busy month
It's
here,
it's
so,
crazy
yeah.
until December. I mean,
Yeah.
really, I'm just
Yeah,
looking at
this
my
is
own
business.
calendar going,
But I hear what you're saying. We don't necessarily have to have a number to say, hey.
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
I just would.
I hear what you're saying too. I get that sometimes a dollar amount could help if someone's like,
I just
oh,
think when you're trying to work with the fundraising thing, even with the museum, I was just at the museum soiree on last Friday, and to have a dollar amount, people will then bid towards it and try to achieve it, and that's one of those things that helps.
Yeah, and I think we just need to understand Ernie's timeline of
Yeah.
when that whole
Well,
and work with what we can with him.
and he's passionate about what he does too. So, okay, but if we can have overlaps in the community, I like that.
So then I'm guessing that item, repair floor, it just says repair floor under dining table in the dining room. Is there another place that's, repair hardwood floor? No, that's also in the auto house. I'm trying to see on this list where we are identifying restore all.
To me, it's
Wood
all
flooring,
floors.
yeah.
It shouldn't just be one room
Right.
because they're
Do
all.
you all
in
see that anywhere on
sad
this
I mean, we
list?
have the auto house floor at the top, then we have the
Mhm.
tile in the kitchenette.
That's different. That's not wood floor. I think we're focusing on wood floor.
Okay.
But the wood floor in the auto house has been damaged.
Yes,
There was
so
a
that's
large
on.
water stain. It had been repaired and restored,
Just the top
and
one,
then
in
Yeah.
general.
there was a water damage done to it.
So and on the left of this list, you'll see the location, and then you'll see just to the right of it the room, and then you'll see the project in the center. And so I'm just trying to see where do we have all wood flooring? Does anyone
I
see
only
that?
see- I only see it
just
in the
see
dining
auto
room.
house and dining room.
I don't see all.
So perhaps we just need to.
Oh, sorry.
Perhaps we just need to, I know that in Brittany's defense, she said, hey, I have not updated this since March. So
Okay.
it's just something we need to probably update. And so updating this list will help and,
Well, maybe-
and kind
maybe
of
we-
making it all.
Maybe we state it
hardwood
instead
floors.
of just the room, like meeting room and all that. Maybe we state it as under room as full house or parquet flooring. Period. Under room, say house parquet flooring, all areas.
We can,
So,
What's your suggestion?
well, if that's the scope, I mean, sure.
Because
I don't know
isn't
if
that what-
anyone's looked at it to see what spaces need to be done, a couple of specifics, but should everything be looked at and perhaps everything redone? If that's the
Yeah.
case, then I agree with that.
I think we should. And how long has it been since anybody's looked at the floor upstairs under the carpet? Anybody?
The last time it was carpeted, which was over a decade ago. So,
Isn't that something that should also be on the scope?
I don't know, but
Take the carpet up.
I don't know. That might be something to talk about.
Let's wait till
the use of
Brittany's
the
back
house, but
first.
that's definitely,
Sorry.
yeah, that's
That's
definitely
fine.
not.
That's just one of those. If you're gonna pull the carpet up, that's a timeline thing too.
Yeah, yeah.
Of the events in the house, and
Mhm.
just like the furniture here, we're on that like strict, small window of time to get
Yeah.
those kind of projects done.
And so aside from the floors, the next thing I was considering and thinking about was the stained glass windows. And I know it's on here twice, both under house, and it says stairs, library door, stairs, library entry. Anyway, it's the stained and leaded glass window that's at the middle of the stairs, and it's also the stained leaded glass window that is back in the back hallway. So those two would be kind of, I would say, probably next on the list. If after floors, that would be like the next thing on the horizon to say, hey, we really do need to restore those windows. So I might suggest that just for thinking, food for thought, and to simmer with. We don't have to decide anything more today. Just was let's kind of glance at this and take a look at why we are doing fundraising. Why is the donor program important? What is that purpose? Always, what's the purpose? What's the goal? If we don't have a purpose and a goal, are we going to reach it? So, why have the donor program? To fund these projects. What do we want to be funding next? The floor, the windows. So.
And do we not want the garden on there as well? We had talked about doing
I think
removing the brick and doing this more simpler bedding area.
I think so.
And then
I don't
do
know
we
though.
strategically figure out what we can do in a timeline?
There are certain things in the garden. Yes, there are certain things in the garden that are historic restoration, and others that are maintenance.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
say.
so
I don't
there
know
is
how
a
much of
very
that is-
specific difference between the two,
Yeah.
and I'm talking specifically only about restoration and
Yeah.
preservation right now.
Okay.
So,
Fine.
but yes,
they overlap, so I get a little
bit.
over bubbly.
Yes.
I apologize.
No,
but
I love it. Thanks.
I know they're
Good energy.
they're on the same sheet, just a click away, and that's just one of those things that if we had a plan and start implementing the plan, like taking these beds back where they should be.
I'll get to that when we
Yeah,
get
we
to
have a
new
topic on
business.
that
So
one, so
yes,
let's
thank you.
go back
Do
to
you have
that.
Sorry.
another thought?
Well, no, just a general question. Kind of who determines what needs to be done? And certain are things, maintenance stuff that has to be done, like leaks, things like that, and then the more aesthetic things such as floors. I'm just kind of curious who's developed this list and.
We have.
The board and the
We-
house manager.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it is a work together with the the
That's
city.
what I would have to say. Again,
and-
being new to me, it's going to be because again we talked about coming in that Ben in recreation kind of working this, and Brittany, and then Ben Grattan on the park operation sides. We're always going to be looking at those things that we're going to be looking at safety first, and then we look at what's going to cost us if we don't get something, if it's going to cause additional damage, and then we start moving into some of the more cosmetic and the goal things, and then that gets impacted by the budget those other things cost. So again, it's a city-wide thing, and how do you get the new project on the list? And it always comes into time and budget. But I think if we have that list, it make it transparent to everyone that it's on the list and we're moving through it, and this new thing that no one knew about, a leak in the roof or something comes up, that's taken care of.
Does anybody from the city, say just the HVAC system, it's got to be maintained
Right.
on a regular basis, and then whatever repairs need to be done. Is there anyone that's actually checking those things, say with the city,
Brittany.
that determines?
Yeah, I mean, we have
The base.
facilities.
I mean, is
Yes.
there
Yeah,
someone's
there-
responsibility, they come out and look at this look at the
Yeah, I
functional
mean, the
things
building
on
is
the-
maintained by the city.
Right. I'm saying
Yes.
who identifies what
I don't know that
needs to be
specific
done.
person, but Brittany would be
Okay.
the one to say, like, if there's problems with the air conditioning, she submits the ticket for that. If there's a light switch not work, like the general maintenance of the house is Brittany's
So she's
responsibility.
the eye on
Yeah.
things like that. Okay.
And I can, again, I've been asked by Jeff, one of the things that Parks has developed over the years before I even got there was a life cycle analysis work management system. And it's put in place, and it does a pretty good job, but sometimes people rely too much on that, and people aren't looking around to see what has to be done too. So it's kind of balancing the common sense, looking around with a work order system that says, we know that HVAC is going to come up, so we should look at budgeting for it. We know that something's going to be done with this thing, so we should budget for that. But in that meantime, we're hoping people look around and saying, well, we just noticed the carpet.
Yeah, so
needs
it's a
something.
combination.
It's a
of
combination
the board
of-
and Brittany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jeff would really like me to try to figure out how we can have recreation use a bit more of that. It's called Infor, is the system we use right now that does our work management.
Okay.
And whereas though the house is a little bit of a different piece of its own because it is historic. It does have a purpose of fundraising to provide for funds for historic restoration and preservation. So while something may not be in the budget, it's potentially in the Callahan House funds because it's
Correct.
been earned and fundraised and kept
So
for that.
There's
So
a balance.
yes, so
We
it's a
want
balance between.
the ceiling not to be leaking, but we
Right.
also want the stained glass windows.
And people
fixed,
do
restored.
donate. We have parks funds too. That again, we have people that donate to parks because they want us to help the parks. And we have people who have funded just to kind of mow the park,
Right.
or to so we do try to keep those buckets separate. Our county system's not the greatest at that. But again, we're working on that as well. So that definitely helps.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
while we're under this subject, and one of the things that isn't on here that I think we should put on here is the Auto House outdoor steps. They are just hideous.
The steps downstairs.
you mean
No, up to the Auto House. Those
Okay.
stairs are not historically accurate. They're hideous, and I know that they're not high priority, but they should be on the list at some point. We are a historic building. We have events, and this is used as a venue, and they were built as functional and functional only, but the aesthetic compared to the historic accuracy, Jeff and I talked about this, they're awful.
They're atrocious, yes.
And I would love to have that on the list.
well, we'll add it then, so we can.
I don't
When
know if
Brittany's
I'll ever
back and
see it
we'll
in my lifetime,
talk about this
but I
again,
can
how-
tell you, it's like one of the things that the ladies did when they were doing the building. At one point, we had lovely shag carpet in here. Doesn't mean it was historically accurate, and it's one of those things we have picked as a board. We have picked a timeline in which we're trying to stick to, and that being said, we need to keep that
You mean a period?
a period.
Yeah.
A period
Where we are.
Yes.
in which we
Period of
have
time.
stuck to and have that aesthetic,
Yeah.
and we really need to stick to that.
Absolutely.
I understand we're not going to put the turntable back in. I understand we'll never get the staircase back into the original position in that house, but we should at least have the appearance of what the Callahans would have wanted. I think of Mrs.
Yeah, let's get it
Callahan
added. Let's get
I-
and
I've
I
just-
think she would just cringe.
Yeah,
I just have one quick
I've
question.
just added it so we can.
For this
we can
completion
update it.
area, what's the timeline that items drop off?
Like when would she remove
Yeah.
the paint?
Like it's at certain years? or-
I don't know. Is this have in your?
We haven't
Is it
addressed
a
that
running?
yet.
It's a running living document.
It is.
For the
We
most
haven't
part, okay.
addressed when
And
to
I
drop
just wondered
things off
when you
yet.
because I know
think
we're also waiting for her to put on the encampment mitigation because that was definitely
Yeah.
a completed item. I think we should
Well,
have all the.
that's a maintenance thing.
Oh.
That's not historic restoration
Oh,
or
okay.
preservation, but it's
Yeah.
a maintenance thing.
That's a
but
maintenance
it's
thing.
But it's
But I was just
something that we
wondering
can talk
when-
about with Brittany when she's
when they
back.
drop off.
Because I think
When
that
there's no more room on the
Right.
page.
while
The
it's
page keeps going.
While it's helpful to have an archive of what's been done and when, do we need to have it on?
Do we do?
Do we need to always have it on the page, the working document, based on what's happening in the future and what's happening in what's in progress? So that's the question we can address.
Okay.
But good
Okay.
question.
Yes.
So thank you.
So technically, this completed list goes on and on. Way
Yeah,
back.
I think yes. Way back.
so it's a document
Yeah.
of what's been done.
Yeah, I think it's good to have that.
I think it's
history
good.
so we can see what's been done.
Mhm.
So that we continue and we can say, okay, this is what we
Just fresh on, we have nothing else to do.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
So one thing, I like your idea of addressing, say, those stairs as an option.
Well,
Perhaps we can come up with a list of things that we would like to see done in the, say, future.
Yeah, because we already have listed on here, like the bride's room, which we need to
Alright.
change and put as the guest room. We need to change the title on that and move it to
So
the
would
guest
you,
room.
are you suggesting that everyone kind of just come back next meeting
And
with anything else that would need to be added to?
When we
or
walk,
changed
we're
on?
walking around, Jeff and I were talking, and we talked about painting and removing the 90s wallpaper that's not accurate. That's listed here.
Oh,
So
it
if
is, okay.
it is, so it doesn't say hideous 90s wallpaper,
Right.
but it does say wallpaper. Anyway,
Well-
there are things that are listed that just
Okay,
haven't.
talked about like the floor up in the meeting room. At some point, consider taking the carpet up and
Yep.
that. We've also talked about the doors to Elder House. I think it'd be nice to restore the original doors at some point in time.
Yeah.
I think those are the kind of things we can get on a list, just running list of things that the board now feels important.
I think we can get items.
And it
added.
be added on with new board members, and hopefully at
Yes.
some point in time we can take care of some of these
That's
problems.
right. And Jeff, with your background, that's exactly what we need. Your background really helps us with
I'm sorry, you interrupted. Yeah. No. So what is your background? I mean,
I'm an architect.
what's that?
I'm an architect.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, so then this is a great idea. If you're going to take this list and digest it, in your spare time, whenever, look through and see if what you were thinking about is on here, or if it's not, make a little note out to the side to add it, and then bring it back to next month's meeting, and we can do consolidation of those.
Yeah, I'd like to see what's important to everyone here.
Yeah.
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 Because
I think that's
people see
that's a hard question.
That's
to
really
answer.
hard.
Right.
It's
Everything,
hard.
You know.
everything.
But I think allowing
Don't
everyone the
bring it to
opportunity
us.
to, I think different perspectives provide the most excellent results. And so you're onto something there, and that I think everyone having the opportunity to say, "Hey, I think this," or "I saw that,"
Yeah,
or
like where do you
know,
where does
and
this
then
sit on
you
your list of top 10?
and then then you put things on the
Right.
list, and then you identify, all right, what's priority, what's necessary,
And then what can we do
and
with the
then
And that's what, again, I think for your background, again, that you get that list from your clients, and then you look at your budget, and
Right.
you compare and say, how do we prioritize these relative to our
Sure.
budget and do some value-added sort of work too, so.
In addition, we can also look at grant funding opportunities.
Yes.
and
To
what
fill
we can-
gaps, exactly.
We can find,
Always.
oh, that project fits that.
Right, right. Well,
Okay.
It's meant to be a bit of a dream list.
Right.
But I think dreams are very important. It motivates us, gives us direction.
Yeah.
yes.
The only suggestion I
Excellent.
would make is that maybe we don't discuss it as soon as you want to. That we put this on the agenda for next year. We have got buku stuff on our agenda right now. And it's like we're nearing the end of the year. There's going to be a ton of things that personally we have to do, plus what we're doing around here. This would be an excellent thing to start the year with. And
That's a great idea. I like
And
that.
rather than spending half hour when we've got other things that are pressing and that have to be taken care of and addressed,
So
that we move this maybe to the
Yeah.
agenda in January,
Perfect.
February.
I think that
I'd
gives
like
people
to
time
not
to think
lose
about it.
I'd like to not lose anyone's ideas. So if it's possible to just ask everyone to
We can
Right.
still
Think about
collect
it. Gather
ideas,
their
and then maybe in January we start
ideas.
discussing.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
add it to the
Rather-
list. and
yeah, we
then
don't have to
add it
discuss
sure,
them.
and discuss
but
it.
let's
future
collect
agenda.
the ideas
Yeah.
that we can for now, because I don't want them lost. So
And
how about
the
between
process
now
of-
and next month, just come up with your list, just your wish list. We'll consolidate it, and that'll be it, and we will discuss in January.
Perfect.
Okay.
So-
Sounds like fun.
Your pragmatic question, just for this group here, just looking at our agenda today, and looking how much you have on it, how do you try to keep moving through your agenda, or what's your sort of ability to manage your time and staff's time as you look at your 2 hours? Do you just drop things off, or do you ask to maybe move things up from? Do you adjust the agenda to try to make sure the important things are done, or how do you try to maximize your time within our window here? I'm just looking where we're at right now and kind of wondering,
We-
you said there's a lot of important stuff to get through.
Yes, and unfortunately, we did spend some time on minutes this
And
morning that we
I-
shouldn't need
I had a lot of
to do
questions
that during
too,
the
so.
meeting. But usually the idea is to allow enough discussion to have a purpose or action to move forward.
Okay.
And,
Oh, good.
and to be able to know, all right, what's the next step? And then we move along.
And then agenda items will kind of just roll to next time if you don't
Yeah.
get to them, is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
So,
if it's
or
in
we
writing.
allow an additional time in the meetings we need to if it's pressing. But let's on that note move along.
So, Dave, is coffee in the pantry if you'd like some.
Thank you.
And there's milk in the fridge.
And so we're moving
Thank you,
along to
Jill.
the
Wait,
committee.
I do have one thing on there.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
wanted to do. This is for you to take to the questers as a thank you for the
Thank
check.
you. And I will be, I'll put this, and we have our state spring meeting tomorrow, and I will present
Oh,
this.
yay.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
All
That's
right.
all right.
I made
So the room by room tour booklet. Do you have an update? Or-
Well, it's completed.
Well,
I
the
think it's on
brochure.
there.
The brochure
Brochure.
is completed, and I printed one
Okay.
just so that I'd have one. But
It's
I
beautiful.
believe it is printed.
Thank
It's
you.
folded even and
Yeah.
ready to go, and apparently on Brittany's desk. I printed it on linen paper because that's just my preference. But yes, essentially, it's done. And so we've got this trifold brochure.
Nice. I love the drawings. The
Isn't it
diagrams.
lovely?
so well
Jeff
done.
did this amazing job with the
Okay.
floor plans
If you could bring down
and the
copies, that'd be great.
content.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've got to either pass it around or.
Oh,
get the
absolutely,
checks.
and the
That'd be great.
She's going
content
up
is
to
very,
see
is,
this.
oh, okay, good. And the content is really consolidated here.
Very balanced.
Here.
So it makes for a very
We've been
nice,
working on this, and I think it's beautiful.
very nice piece. We
Everyone
will
helped
use
a lot,
it.
too.
And I'm
We will
very
use it at
excited.
Art Walk. We
We're
will
going to
use
use
it
it
at Art Walk.
officially at Art Walk. Very
So-
excited.
Which we'll talk about Art Walk and new business.
Okay.
But
Thank you,
But
Jeff.
other than that, is there, what, the next step would be actually working more on the tour booklet, the room by
The
room
big,
tour
right,
booklet.
right.
So I
We'll
don't know.
start that
what-
in January.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
The work is
I
never
was gonna
done.
say, if you,
Yeah.
how do you feel about that? What do you want done about timing on that? You wanna go ahead and put it into January?
Yes,
perfectly fine.
yes.
Okay.
Now,
Drop
this
off
is
the
the
mid-
detailed.
The detailed
one
booklet.
That, okay, that we
Yes.
would provide for a fee.
So we will,
Okay.
we'll come back to that in January then.
Now, that's separate from the book that you considered.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
This
So,
is
all right.
so just so you know, because you're kind of new to everything, David, we have created
okay.
this.
Oh, I was, Andy had a couple, I was just gonna take one of.
Here.
There you go. That's good.
Okay, it's good, it's good.
And it doesn't matter. And then we created this, which will be handed out at Art Walk. We're very thrilled about it, but we're also working on a smaller booklet that will be for sale.
Okay.
That'll be, stamped together. I wish I had
And actually, Jeff can
example.
lead on that.
Yeah.
Let him go ahead and take
Sorry.
it if you'll.
No,
You wanna
please,
share?
continue.
Okay,
No.
Please, right.
That's
Okay.
what
Go,
you're
please,
working
please.
on, though.
okay.
And that's the next task. And Jeff has been wonderful in regards to this, and it's more detailed, but that's going to be then for sale.
Yeah.
At the booklet, and then eventually we'll get to the next
Yeah.
part. But there's also going to be a book. But
All right.
Would that replace this
yes,
Yes.
Okay.
big long
Yeah.
papers
Right.
that we would hand out?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to
Replaces
hand out.
two
Yeah.
legal size handouts that we used to give people, and this is gonna be really perfect.
This is intended just as a handout people walk through casually, just give a couple bullet points that they might want to look at.
But we'll still have those long copies for us.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, they still like this.
And the bottom line is, this is great for people to have and take home. And if they don't want, we can also put a basket to recycle them.
Okay.
So it's very well done. Thank you, Jeff, for
Yes,
leading
thank you,
this
everyone.
and seeing it through to completion. Lovely job. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Okay. We'll move on to holiday decorating,
So
and
do we take that off?
we're going to put it in future agenda items. That room by room tour booklet will be addressed in January.
Gotcha.
The booklet.
The
Yes, the
booklet.
booklet
Yeah.
will be
But we can
addressed.
take the brochure off.
The brochure's off.
Yeah, the brochure's not on there.
Right,
It was
it's not-
just
okay.
a part
The
of
booklet.
this.
Awesome, thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So on to holiday decorating, and let's try to keep it brief.
Okay, if you don't mind, I'm going to combine the holiday decorating and the habitat.
Yeah.
I mean, they all.
It
Perfect.
is what it is.
Yes,
they go
It
together.
matches.
So I've had conversations with Chris Heroy, and they are still looking for 2 more houses. Apparently this morning he contacted Kristen and
Last week, but yeah.
they're maybe trying to look at some other Longmont historical.
Yeah, they reached out to Sam Calhoun, who used to help manage the part-time staff out at Sandstone Ranch Visitor Center, which is a historic property. Then she rerouted it to myself and Kirsten, Kirsten's the full-time environmental coordinator out there now, that they're potentially interested in adding
Oh, wonderful.
Sandstone to the home tour.
Yeah, so it could be a Longmont history tour.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Are they going to look at Old Mill Park too, possibly?
I don't know if they look at just houses. I don't know if they would.
Old Mill Park would be really difficult to do for the Christmas
would.
thing.
Especially in winter.
it
Yeah,
would
that
be
would be
difficult.
hard.
Maybe Hoverhome. There was something going on with Hoverhome. I don't know.
Hoverhome would be amazing.
We've done Hoverhome before on the
Yeah.
home tour, but maybe again. But I know there's something abuzz because they canceled their tours this last weekend. Something's. I don't know what it is.
Oh, that would be
They
amazing.
started a rumor.
Okay.
Anyway,
It's on camera too.
Yeah.
You started it right here.
They will have no merchants in any of the houses this year, and they are looking forward to our commitment. Something that I didn't share with you before, and I'm not sure Brittany did either. There's a lighting company called Bingo, and they every year decorate one of the properties for free. So they have contacted Brittany about decorating outdoors here at my house is mixed up, Callahan House, and Ben knows about it. They're also trying to make sure that they will maintain the integrity of the house and do what they're supposed to do correctly. And Chris has checked on that, and they will be careful with everything. So that's an exciting thing. There's another person besides Chris that's involved. Her name is Sonata Dangle, and she is the event director for Habitat, so she will be contacting us, and they're still looking for things. I asked them about traffic flow, Habitat personnel in the house, ticket sales, buoys, things like that. And Chris got back to me this morning with more details about that. And so there's another contact person that will help us figure out things like the flow through the house. And there will be a captain for each property from Habitat, so they will meet with us and determine, let's see, let me find my things here. Okay, sorry.
In a nutshell, I have a quick question. Is there anything more they need from us other than what we're already
Well,
on
once this
contract
home
doing?
captain once this other lady reaches out to us,
Okay.
we will meet with the home captain.
Okay.
And we will confer with her about the best route through the house. Karen did go through and create 2 different routes. One that goes up the back stairs, which we had discussed at the last meeting, and
Potential
one
better
that comes
safety.
down the back stairs. So we will make sure that we pass that along
Right.
when we meet with that particular
Can we
person.
walk through?
The home captains will be here at all times during the open houses. They will do this ticket sales, that type of thing. I'll send you each a copy of his latest email. People on the committee, so they know.
do we as committee members also need to be here?
We need to take our turns.
Yeah.
And we need to
During the
create
event, you mean?
and come
Yeah.
up with hostesses
Okay.
for each of the hours that the home is open.
Okay.
So
During-
yes, we need to
during
help
the event.
with that.
Okay.
And probably do the bulk of that. Habitat will send people from their teams too and help us bring community members in who have traditionally done that type of thing. So that's part of what we will talk to our captains about, is how do we go about and what are the typically the shifts are broken into 2-hour intervals.
Okay.
And how many people will determine we need for each room in the house and each area. And
Okay.
those are fine tuning things that'll come up.
Yeah.
That'll take place. We met as a committee on September 3rd at my house. We have a room by room plan for the Victorian decorations. I'm not going to bore you with all that yet. We don't have a budget yet, so we really need to request a budget because we definitely need to purchase certain things like some greenery to add to the rope type gold decorations that we have for the stairway. We want to add greenery there. We want to add greenery between the rooms, and that's going to cost us some money. We want to add they're on the main tree as we come into the dining room.
I've been pricing
The
those.
electric lights that look like little candles. That's going to cost a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We need to purchase we're going to fill the bathtub with clear baubles, Christmas ornaments that are clear. So we'll need to purchase things like that. And we also are planning to recycle, borrow things like that from our friends and people we know, and go to places, recycle places and things to get things to add to our decoration plans.
Who was supposed to reach out to like the flower bin and?
We hadn't decided that.
Okay.
We were also going to
Sorry.
that up. Look for donations from people to, like the flower bin, Home Depot, Lowe's, to give us poinsettias, live plants to put throughout the house to decorate with. A lot of the decorations in the Victorian era are homemade type things. We also have a partner from cheese importers, and she was a former board member. She was actually a former
House manager. Former house manager.
yeah. She lived here in the house. Actually, she was one of the last ones to live here and take care of Callahan House. So it's Joni Heddles, and she works at the cheese importers, and they have a lot of things they're trying to downsize with, and a lot of things that would fit into our Victorian decorating scheme. She's more than willing to loan us things. They're also trying to sell some things. So this is just kind of I'll put it out there and see what you think kind of thing. The possibility could exist that we get our own vendor, and she could be, or the cheese importers could be our own vendor, and we could put them in the auto house, and whatever things they are trying to sell, and I'm talking about old French style things. You've been in the cheese importers? Everybody been in cheese importers? I mean, these are
Upstairs.
collector's items, and it could be a win-win situation. I have not spoken to her since I threw the idea out, and she kind of went, "Oh, that could work." So I wonder how.
What about Chris's email that says we're getting away from having vendors?
What does it say?
His email to you says we are getting away from having vendors.
Right, they are.
Okay.
But
They're
in
still
the
okay
email
with
I had
us
this
having someone
morning,
here?
said if we wanted to bring our own vendor in, we could do that.
Okay.
That I had from him this morning. So that's just a possibility.
Is the
It
city
would have
okay
to
with us
be-
moving forward with potentially partnering with cheese importers to have
I
them
have to
come in
ask.
for
I don't. And maybe you know about the partnering policies that you're not playing favorites, or that you're not giving an equal opportunity to everybody to say, "Hey, I actually wanted to be your vendor." I know that there is something. I don't know the legalities behind it, but I know we as the city are not supposed to seek someone out solely. That's the whole point. Like when you get bids and stuff, everybody has to be able to post a bid. So I'm not saying no. I'm saying I just want to double check the policy.
That's
on
why
it.
we brought it up.
Yeah.
We brought it up, but we also are looking at, say, we have Art Walk this weekend. Okay. We had specific venue artists go ahead and apply, and then we picked from the list to go ahead, and they're selling their wares, and we're not getting any profits from it. In addition, we will be selling our own items at the Christmas event, because we've got our pictures, we've got our books, we've got other things in which we will be selling. So technically, we are our own vendor. So I don't see the conflict for a once event, particularly because we're looking at a very narrow margin.
I'm
to do
not
this.
saying, like I said, I'm not saying no. I just,
Okay.
So you'll
it's
be
hard
able
for
to
me to
check-
say yes without double checking all my
I
That's
understand,
why
but I'm just,
government fund policies.
Right. Could
Yes.
you just help me maybe frame this a little differently? So we're looking at the cheese importers to be a partner with us to help with our, if we don't, we would be getting a portion of those.
no.
No?
We're not
No,
receiving
but they
anything
may
from
be,
the
but
sales.
they may be
That-
loaning us some of the materials and
Okay.
items that we need to decorate the
All right.
house, and then we wouldn't have to purchase them.
Okay.
In addition to that, we're also looking at partnering with somebody like the Flower Ben or the Home Depot to possibly bring in live wreaths.
And
to-
donations are one thing.
Right, that's what I was
People
trying to
are-
get to.
Donations
and,
are.
but then we can promote their business that way.
Right.
But that's different. We're not going to sell those things.
No.
It's someone coming on
It-
the
except-
property selling
except-
Some
them.
stuff for their own.
Except we can state that you can buy this item.
At such and such.
Right.
So the only,
I think it sounds wonderful. Let me just check on things.
yes, yeah. We pinpointed or pushed it to the auto house because it would be far less difficult
Confusing.
and confusing, less confusing if they were in one separate spot rather than all the way through. So
And I know we talked about at the last meeting that we didn't, that anything that we're buying or having here to look at the space that we actually have, that we're not just like imploding on a bunch of new
No.
stuff that we don't have space
No.
for
No.
and things like that. Yeah.
that's why I cited those specific things, the electric candles.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, those
Yeah.
are great. I got those done.
So for
But the tub full of clear ornaments has me as a big tub to fill with
oh
ornaments.
well, there's ways to
Because
do
you
it.
fill the
Okay.
bottom with a box and
Okay.
put a sheet
Oh, yeah.
over it.
Wonderful.
So-
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, that's gonna be a
And
lot.
it's always fun. People, oh my goodness, look at the bubbles in the tub.
And everybody's
Yeah. I
excited
think it's
about it.
beautiful.
And,
Okay.
and
Cool.
the bottom line is I'm bringing antiques and other things in, like a child's table
Yep.
and all sorts of stuff, things that aren't going to stay here permanently. Now, we do have items that have been donated to the house
Sure.
to stay.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay.
And along with that, the Questers are doing the bridal room upstairs, or the
Guest room.
guest room. And we decided that we would invite all the other clubs that are in the house here to, or assign them a room, or probably, that's what we'll probably do, is assign them a room to decorate, so that we aren't doing all the decorating. We will determine what we want that tree to look like and have a vision for them, all of the things that they need, sorted and separated ahead of time, and just say, okay, here's your room, the trees are already set, here's the decorations, please put them all on the tree, and here's kind of what we're looking for. And then a sign somewhere in the room that would say, this room was lovingly decorated by the Questers Club. This was done by CJPEO Club. This was done by
And
FD.
you are.
So how would you
have
like that
plan in place?
communication to happen? That's the question.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
my next question.
How
as
would you
well.
like that communication to the clubs to occur, so that
That is the next thing I had in mind for our
Can-
next meeting,
Okay.
was for us to figure out which clubs might be available, how to contact them.
The next committee meeting, is that what you're talking about? Not
Yeah.
the next board
Next
meeting?
committee
Yes,
meeting,
okay.
yes. And so what I need is a list of all the clubs and the contact people.
Is it, I don't want to speak out of line for Brittany, so if it were to be Brittany's preference that she contacts the clubs, like if you create your list that says we'd love for this club to do this tree, blah, 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 and then Brittany would like to potentially be the person that is
Sure.
the connector. I can get you the list of the names
I agree.
of the
My
clubs or the number
my
of
only
clubs.
concern is Brittany completely gone for the full month?
She comes back to work on the 24th, Wednesday.
I suppose
Yeah.
if you could just give us
So
the
2
names
weeks.
of the clubs, then
2
that
weeks.
way we know kind of who is
And how many we
potentially
have.
going
Because
to be
people
available.
could obviously say
And they
no.
can say no,
Yeah.
yeah. But we're just recruiting some helpful hands to make
it's a lot.
a big job easier. And that's,
And it's a big deal.
and it's a nice way for the clubs to give back to the
Right.
house.
And they're also going to be asked if they would be hostesses in the house during the open houses. times.
Because that's the 4th and 5th of,
Oh, well, we don't know.
Of December, yeah, the Thursday,
Yeah, we know the dates.
Yeah,
now.
we have
Thursday,
the
right,
dates,
yeah, we have the
time.
dates, yeah.
just verifying.
So I would like to set up a new committee meeting,
Okay. When are we looking at?
and so if you would check on that
Yeah.
policy as far as
The
whether
vendor
we
for
can
cheese
approach
bags,
cheese importers or not, or partner with them, that would be great.
And if you would provide
So-
the names of the clubs too.
Yep, I got
Candy.
those both
Okay.
down here.
Okay.
Could we go on the 16th?
I would love the 16th.
Great, let's
All
do
right.
it.
Well,
So
we
the
can-
house, this room is on the 16th is only available until
Till noon.
Till
Oh, that's
noon,
right.
and
Right.
that's when the actual clubs start. So I
Right,
don't.
so
I
we'd
don't
have to
wanna
be out
that
actually
crossover.
by 11:30 with everything clean.
Could we
Yes.
do the
So-
auto house? Do we need a table for the auto house?
What about the 18th? Is that a date that's available?
I can do the 18th.
I can do the
What I
18th.
want
can't
to
do
do,
the
I'm
16th.
sorry, let me back up a little bit. What I really want to do at this meeting
think-
is for us to get in the attic
I think the
and
18th.
inventory what's up there
Let's,
and bring some of our things that we know we're going to use and add them to what's there. Because that's going to take a lot
I
of
can't be
time.
here on the 18th. I hear what I hear. You have a great process. I'm really excited for you guys to dive into the attic. The 18th. I know you said you were available.
Okay.
I
Any
cannot-
other
I
time
have-
that week that would
Is
work?
there other clubs that will be here at that time?
On the 18th,
Mm-hmm.
no. We've got custodial and grow will be here outside in the garden.
So is there
Well,
any?
There's a staff
custodial is
person
here,
for
then.
Our
custodial?
staff is not
Oh.
here. They
Staff-
have access to the building themselves.
But if custodial is here, they have access to the building. We can be here while they're here and be gone before they're
I don't know what
even
time
done
they
with
get here.
cleaning.
It's on her calendar from 8 to noon, so I don't know. I know custodial is wildly short-staffed right now. I don't know. I couldn't even promise that someone is going to be here from custodial at this point in time from that.
They just have a window.
All
and
right.
they come sometime
think
during that
so.
window.
I think that there's a desired time frame that they're here, but I know that.
Is it possible
custodial is-
for, I mean, since staff doesn't have to be on site while we're here, is it possible for staff, if it's not custodial, for a staff member, just come over and unlock the door for us? Let us come in, we'll keep it locked.
I
It's
mean,
just
I have
us.
to ask.
And
These are
we-
random times for
Okay,
staff
so
to be
let's,
here, you know?
And
Well,
it's not a matter of
it's-
you have
it's
to be here. Just unlock the door, allow us in. We will do what we need to be doing, and then we'll call you and say, okay, we are finishing up, and when you come over to lock up, we will leave, and you'll lock up.
We've done that before.
Yeah.
What time do you want to meet on the 18th?
Candy, it's up to you.
I play golf in the morning, so it has to be,
Have your prayer.
I have my
Priorities.
priorities. So we could do 1 o'clock?
Okay.
Okay.
Is that okay, Julie?
I'll get back to you.
Is that
So
harder?
make it 1.
Is it harder to do one?
Is 1:30 the better
Well,
time?
works for you.
I have to look to see when
The
I have to
driving
be
day. Yes.
the kid taxi.
What's the A day? What's the A day and B day? Wait. What's today's day? Is it an A or a B day?
Today is a day.
Okay. B. That's going to be an A.
Okay, cool.
So
Are we good with
1:30
one?
on the 18th.
9:30 is the earliest I could come.
But are you good with 1?
Oh, 1?
Yeah, 1.
That
Yes.
day is, yeah.
A day.
1 to
okay.
3?
1 o'clock.
1 to 3.
All right. Great.
Okay.
So,
Sound good?
Super. 9, 18, 1 to 3. Thank you. Okay, let's move on.
Can
I will bring my Christmas tree that day.
You have a question, Jeff?
No, just one thing for Candy.
You got 1 to 3. So.
Just logistics on the tour you mentioned a few minutes ago. There you can look at kind of circulation, how to get people up through the house. I believe we're going to use the back stair as well as the front stair. I think one thing just to keep in mind is that the back stair, especially the top landing, has winder steps, so it's not the safest.
We know that.
Right. So I don't know if you'd consider. I think going up the main steps is great, but coming down the back steps might be a little.
So we have
Just
another
shaky.
plan.
Which is why I created an alternative going up the back steps and coming down.
That was
the
my
main-
thought. I think the steps would be safer going
So-
up than going down.
Yeah. So that's
Sorry,
That's
you're
why
talking
she
about
did
that.
that.
yes.
I didn't realize.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay.
But
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.
we'll share it with you, and then maybe you can give us your
No,
thoughts.
that's
yeah.
fine. I'm glad you've considered that.
Yeah.
Okay.
on that. Okay, so let's move on to formal garden. In the packet, you have the 1 page, and that is the. That is really it. Those are the formal garden plan suggestions. So we need to restore the garden to a formal garden, and following our ideas to create a plan for restoring the garden and creating a formal garden. Now, if you've had the opportunity to read through it, great. If not, I think you'll have to do that another time. But I do want to bring something up, which is an exciting thought, is that Candy, you had mentioned, contact CSU about their Master Gardener program, and Julie had a contact here in town that I was able to reach out to and learn to how to get to that right person. And I have a person from CSU Extension Office in Boulder County, Sheila Prentice, and she's going to come meet me at the house next Monday. So if anyone is interested in walking the garden with me and Sheila, and she is going to help kind of look over the garden on Monday. And that's
The 15th?
10 a.m. Yes, Monday the 15th at 10 a.m. And if you're able to, great, come join. If you're not, it's okay. We'll put together all of the detail from our walkthrough. But the objective in that is for getting help, getting the expert help that we need to know what needs to happen with the garden. And so that's the plan for Monday at 10. Okay?
So is she the expert? Or
She is an expert,
Okay.
and she's one of them, and then she would be the one who could also help get us connected with the volunteers who would be needing hours in completing their program to be able to further help. So we're on the right track.
I know we are. I should have spoke sooner, and I'm sorry to backtrack, but I want to go back quickly to the holiday decorating, but it is about the gardens. Do we want to talk to staff about doing the outside areas for decorating for those
Do you mean
urns, the urns and everything outside, or are we going to take on the decorating for the outdoor, the porch, and everything as well?
Can that be an email to Kristen and Brittany later?
Because I don't want to step on toes.
And I don't know what the lighting company is doing.
Yeah.
doing.
And
So
that's
right.
exactly
more
it.
to come. More
So maybe
to
more to
figure
come.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry.
So maybe Candy, if you're okay with it, you can send an
Backtrack.
email.
I
to them.
apologize.
I think that's,
Or coming up with what you want out there. I don't think we normally have, even for a holiday open house, there's not anything but the lighting out there.
Yeah, but this
That
is
needs-
full bore. This is one of those things that
Sure. So that's more of what would you want?
That
on
needs
the
to be an
patio.
email.
Let's-
It needs to
Let's
be
put that in an
email.
email that we can, and we can
Greater
either do it
than that type
before,
of thing.
or we can do it during the meeting, figuring out, okay, what do we want to ask City? Let's do that then. All right, so back on formal garden.
Sorry. I
Here,
apologize.
it's okay. So here we are with a little bit of history. And why is the history necessary to bring up? Well, it's to learn what you've done in the past so that you can be better going forward, and not let something slip off the radar. We actually do need to have a plan. There wasn't a plan put in place in 2023. There was no plan. It was just talking about planting flowers. And so there was no plan for the garden. We need a formal garden plan. Now it's time to create that formal garden plan. So these are some suggestions. And if everyone wants to take it in, think it through, and if you're able to join us on Monday, great, bring this. If not, that's fine, but I don't expect that we're going to sit and discuss this too much today. I just wanted to make sure that everyone had a nice introduction to what was talked about in the last board meeting, and in paper, in black and white, and then what is going to happen on Monday. So
I think this is important. It goes along with all the other processes that we've put in place as a board that weren't there. They were
Right.
just non-existent. Like receiving gifts and donations. There was no process put in place.
Right.
We've done that. The process that we put in place for digitizing the scrapbook, all of these things. These are just formalities that need to be put in and moving forward,
Yeah.
so we can keep consistent.
exactly. So with that in mind, we're going to move on from this topic.
I
It will
have
be
some.
on-
I
Oh,
have
I was going to
some.
say it will be on the next
I
agenda.
know you
It'll-
guys, I was one
Thoughts.
pushing
Okay.
about the agenda to be on track, but I have some questions too.
Yeah, no. You want to go first?
No, I'd love
Okay.
to follow.
I think I just want to say this out loud again, since Brittany is not here. I don't want anybody to. I'm happy for you to have this walkthrough. That's all fine and dandy. I don't want anything to happen at this house without Brittany's being available, being aware, her consent to move forward with items. So
Nothing.
that's all I
nothing
just wanna
moves
say is
forward
out there.
without
I.
here. Yeah.
Again, even this meeting that you're having, Brittany isn't available for it, obviously. So that also just it doesn't feel great that she wasn't part of that communication and part of that meeting. This is her home and her garden and her responsibility to take care of it with your guys' support. So I just want to make sure that we're not agreeing to anything.
We are not. And I
Especially
apologize.
without
And this
her
is
there.
an initial thing. This is not anything
Sure.
that's setting anything in stone. So
It's still
I
just one of
apologize.
those-
And it was
I just
just
wanna
based
say it
on
out loud.
her availability. So
Yeah.
not Brittany's.
Yes, yeah, I get what you're saying.
So whether she's even interested in
And-
helping us out,
Well,
the master gardener.
she's interested in helping us, but this is an initial. Let's walk through
Yep,
and
and
see
that-
what's going on.
I'm just
That's all.
trying to vocalize
Okay.
my thoughts with Brittany not here on that one. And then I think we've mentioned it a time and time again is that we can always have our suggestions and our hopes and dreams, but nothing like if you were to say we want A, B, and C done, there's still a process to get A, B, and C done, and there's always a list that's a wish here. Same with all of our restoration and preservation and things like that. So this
Right.
is me just saying with a caveat: if you have these suggested actions, that's lovely, but it doesn't mean that it is going to happen immediately. That doesn't mean that it is absolutely, without a doubt, set in stone and written.
I hear
Right.
what you're
Yes.
saying.
Right.
Yes.
It's the bottom line is there's never been anything in place. So saying from the board that this is the direction we're giving you, well, we've never given any direction. We've made
There was direction.
suggestions.
There was direction per all of Brittany or all of that meeting we had back in 23. There was a list of exactly the names of flowers and plants and where she wanted them. So I'm fine with you creating some document that's now a living, as you guys have these other living documents of said wishes and dreams to get the garden back to what you want.
That was a suggestion of a board member. A board member. That wasn't the suggestion of the full board.
It was okay. We don't need to go back in time because it's
I think
over and done with.
I think your point is well made and it's well received too, and I believe that we're all on the same
Cool.
page there.
I'm glad I followed your lead because I was just going to ask some questions about that too. I think it goes back to the house piece. That first of all, CSU Master Gardeners are wonderful. Ben Grattan, my park superintendent, he graduated from CSU. I graduated from CSU. We both have leaned on them a lot.
Yeah.
Great program. Names have changed in the 20, almost 30 years I've been doing this, but it's still a great program. So I would encourage that partnership. But going back to that, it's great to have a dream and a list, but then I think sitting down with Brittany and then Ben Grattan and saying what's realistic, what can we do, what's the steps of removals, replacements, but again, I think working with the board, it's like what would be the priority? And like you said, if you have A through Z, what are your A through C's that need to get done this year? I think that's how I'd like to hopefully work with the board on that. Does that
I
make
think that's what the
Absolutely.
plan
I
is.
think that's where, I think just putting a plan in place is a great thing. And
Absolutely.
if we're checking things off over the years and getting there and have some sort of deadlines is also very helpful too. So
Yes,
I
that's
think that's
absolutely spot on. So,
Spot
yes.
on. We're not.
So
We realize
Thank you.
there's no magic wands hidden anywhere in this house, if that would be the case. But the bottom line is, if we have a list to move forward with,
Yeah.
this would be lovely. This would be great, and get our priority.
Right. We're starting with a plan.
yep,
A
exactly.
plan.
Exactly.
Just getting a
So I
plan.
understand what you're saying completely.
Okay.
Now we're doing the plan. This is our
Just the start
our
to get a
dream, our
plan.
wish, of
This
plan.
is our-
right.
And then we'll determine how
How we
we
how it
execute.
implements.
Exactly.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. On to new business. Art Walk.
We all know that we're doing setup at 1 o'clock on Friday for those that can come and help us get things partially set up for Art Walk. I don't think it's going to be a really in-depth thing, but the artists all have their places and where they're supposed to be. And then the big question that I have is for the day, and because you weren't at the meeting, Kristen, how are we getting the booth there? I mean, the table.
I had those same questions as I was
And-
looking at the
and the
calendar.
Yeah.
Where are they and who has
I
them?
have to go pick them up today, so I will have them. But I was reading through like when the road closures are and when you can go actually set up on Saturday. So You are going on the first watch. Jeff's taking the second one on the main street. Is that what we
I think
decided?
We have since
Flip-flop.
changed a
Flip-flopped.
little
Okay.
bit. We've actually incorporated a third, so Candy's going to take she's going to take
Okay.
the middle, so that way it allows everyone to have
So you're setting
less
up,
time
yeah.
on Main, more
Easier
time
for you
here
to take
on
it down.
site at the property. So we've got
always
it
come
in thirds.
And I apologize for continuing to interrupt, but how are you picking them up and what do you what, I'm sorry.
How is this working?
This is
Yeah.
so
And what are you
Rachel
using?
Henderson, formerly Rachel Moyer.
Oh, yes.
She has like the brand checkout system, so you can go check out the City of Longmont 10 by 10 tent and a
Okay.
table and like
Do you have the vehicle you need
tablecloth.
to do that and everything?
I think
and
everything can
and,
fit in my Outback. I
Person
think
power
I'm
to
okay.
do that?
I'm gonna go figure it out. It's today at 1 o'clock. I will be going over there.
If you need help.
I was just
find
gonna.
help
I was
for
just
you.
gonna say today, if you need extra hands, if you'll just email all of us, then we'd be like, oh, I can go. I can.
Sure.
So
I mean, I have
just
a
let us
city.
know.
I can always bring the minivan.
Yes.
Now that we're saying, oh, I'll bring the minivan because nobody has it, so that it'll live in the minivan, which is one of our recreation vehicles
Great.
that lives at
And yeah, just
Memorial.
make sure you're not trying to do more than you can.
Sure.
do.
And
That's
right,
that.
right,
yeah.
You've got helping
I'm
hands.
imagining it's not
right
a lot.
Here.
I think she has a cart that
Okay.
you pull. I've
We're
seen it
all
at
people.
a different
And
open
then,
house.
and then what are we putting there? Are we putting a banner?
It's already been decided that the house is handling house stuff and wedding marketing stuff. And then the board member will have the brochures and the.
And Brittany said she'd have all of that
the
upstairs on her desk.
There's a lot
patrons.
going on.
So all of that is upstairs.
But she also said that you guys are selling things, and that's why I have 2 mobile credit card readers. So I'm curious.
That would be the house staff person
Okay,
who
so
is selling
we-
some
we-
of the house items.
Okay, which I think is Jacqueline.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
so anything house
We're selling
marketing
things
wise
here,
and the
not
house
at the.
sales.
So nothing at the booth on Main Street.
I
is
was.
selling.
I
Actually,
I
didn't
think
you
that there
ask
is.
that? I
we
think
had
that there
asked
is.
that, but we
And
didn't
so
know
that
for
is why
sure.
you have
So if we
devices.
have
I'll
the
connect with
ability,
Jacqueline on
great.
it.
so whoever the staff individual is, that's the one that's going to be selling the house
On Main,
items.
on Fourth. It's on Fourth. I double checked that we have the location on Fourth. We were the first
But if you
ones
need
got to pick.
help with yes,
We
picking
don't
up or
know
setting
east or
up
west,
something.
right?
No, she didn't tell me that much. I just know it's Fourth and Main.
But we don't
So-
know exact
Which
spot.
side?
Well, she gave us a map, right? And everybody has a number. Did you guys get
Did you
that
get a
email?
map?
No.
I don't know who.
I did not. Get
Everybody's
it.
blind copied on me, so I don't know who's actually.
So we did
getting
not get a
that.
map
Let's see.
I
what
did
was
Probably
the
just
map?
Brittany did. Glad you have access.
because anyone would get a map would be you.
I got a map of the garden
Okay,
here.
Monday at 9:51. Here's the big map, and it looks like. So these are all the numbers.
Mhm.
They're very small there, but there's 600 numbers, and that's the booths.
Uh huh.
And then this is 6th Ave, as you can see, Kimbar, Kaufman. I printed all this out yesterday, and I just did not have time to go through in nitty gritty. Sorry, my computers. And then this is the list of all of the.
I didn't get any
I
of
don't
that.
know if we'll see any of that. Are you able to forward that
All
on to
artists?
Yeah,
Maureen?
absolutely.
These are all
Since
long
Maureen is our
Absolutely.
chair for that,
I
it'd be
didn't
helpful
know
for
that.
us to have
This
it.
is-
Any of that. I only know.
I was
the
trying to
artists.
find us. I was having a hard time
I
finding
was.
us, and that's.
I was informed that we were on Fourth and Main
Okay.
when I spoke.
Okay,
to
anybody
Sarah
else,
House.
Maureen? Do you want me to just send it to
Just
the board?
Maureen.
Just Maureen,
just
she
send
is
it
the
to me,
chair for
please.
that.
Cool.
She will lead that. And okay, so what we know we need to do is be here at 1 o'clock on Friday for inside house setup.
Setup.
And if there's anything you need extra hands for, Kristen, in the meantime we're up to or whatever, just email us. Otherwise, on Saturday,
2:30.
I don't think that all the board needs to be here at 2:30. Actually, I think that's you and I can be here at 2:30.
And we're
But
good.
the rest of the board members don't need to be here until, I mean, realistically,
4.
3:30.
3:30.
Yeah, y'all don't need to be here any earlier than 3:30.
So it starts at
It's a
4.
long day.
3:30.
Yeah, it starts at 4, and that's why
And
if
so
you're
it goes
here at
from
3:30,
4 to 4.
then you will be
Cindy,
able
I'm
to
sorry?
settle in
Cindy is
here
going to work Art Walk.
or go to
Right.
the
I don't
side.
know if she's going to come. She said she'd come for setup.
Okay,
on-
okay.
on-
We'll see.
So
we'll see if
I
she's
don't
up.
think.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see if she's up to it. But
So-
so yeah, so 1 o'clock on Friday.
And I do need
3:30
the
on
clickers.
Saturday.
And hopefully, I'm.
Those
gonna
are
go-
in. There's
Okay.
either clickers in one of those. Those are the credit card readers, or they're upstairs. I know.
Okay.
I know they're somewhere. I've seen them exist,
And
Okay.
but I will make sure that we have clickers.
So our stuff that goes to the tent,
Mhm.
that'll be here?
Yes.
So I can pick that up
Yes.
and take that down?
Yes.
Okay.
I
It
think
will, it,
the-
will, it will go in the first shift. So
Right.
when the tent's being set up, and I mean, if you were first shift, then
Yeah.
yes, yeah, it will be here. When
Technically-
you show up here at
technically you could-
3:30, you can come and gather the things and go
Or
meet them at the
technically,
tent.
you could pick them up on Friday
Okay.
and
Oh,
have
yeah,
them
you
with
can
you.
take them with you.
Will there be a table provided for
That's
us?
what I'm
That's what
picking
she's
up today
doing.
is a tent
Yeah.
table. Like a,
Yeah.
So who's setting the tent up?
I guess I'll have to meet
You're
you over
gonna
here
have
when you
to
want
set
I mean,
to.
I can help. I mean, if
Yeah,
if
so
you
when
have time,
you're gonna get here at 3:30.
I can be here earlier if
That's fine. I was just gonna look at the schedule for who is working because I think there's a staffing shortage that for city staff for Saturday. What day are we at?
We're supposed to have Betsy.
Yes, but
here at the house.
something
and
came
then-
up and she needs to leave early.
Oh,
I think that was the case. I'll confirm with her what time she
Okay.
is going to stay, which is fine. I'm here all night, but between having
Yeah,
the city
that's-
staff, I might have to leave and go be on Main Street, and
Okay,
it'll
I
just be
just-
the board members in the house.
I don't
be
necessarily
alright.
want to run the card though. That's
It
the
will be all
problem.
right. I think things
Run
will go
a,
smoothly.
that's fine.
I think things will go smoothly.
That's fine.
so are we selling only here, not at Main Street?
No, both.
I think we're selling
locations.
things at both. Brittany had
locations.
requested
Both.
both
Okay.
credit card
Because we
readers.
had requested it and I didn't know for sure. She was going to get back to me. I didn't hear. I just heard.
Okay.
There we go. So we're selling both.
So be a staff member there to operate the
Yes.
payment?
Yes. You shouldn't have to handle the payment at all.
And I
You
know how
just
to use the
handle it.
credit
No,
card readers, so
no,
I'm happy
no
to
board
do
members
that.
handle any payments. Does that wrap us up for our work? We're getting
It-
tight on time.
It does, and
Okay, so
honestly, I'm very excited about it. It should be a great event. Knock on wood, we don't get rain, and then we'll go from there.
What time did we ask the vendors that are here to set up? To be
3:30,
here?
but they'll
3:30.
be here early. That's why we're
Which
coming
one?
at 2:30.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
It'll be, I think we said 3 o'clock is setup time, which is why you and I will be here at
She
2:30.
emailed them out. and
Yeah,
I believe
it said
it
3.
said 3.
Yeah, but we're
Did you have
good.
another
We are
question?
good to go.
You'll know where the specific spot is
I'm
set
gonna
up
find us on this
I mean,
map.
at some point before
Find us on this map.
before
And then-
Saturday. Okay.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
can you then communicate that with all of us? Just to say, okay, the site
That's what
is
we're gonna do, 'cause
at
you
this.
know,
When I
But,
spoke
yeah,
to
just send an
the
email
person
to
at the
them.
the firehouse, where we were, she told me that we were on 4th and Main, unless we've been moved.
Okay, so
Because
Fourth is nice and close. Since
Yeah.
we're under here,
Because,
so.
yeah, that's why I said, could I get the closest, please? So I've got people
Perhaps you
trying
can-
to go back and forth.
yeah, could you confirm that and email it to us later? We're running tight on time.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you. All right, we do need to move on. Fall tea, I'm going to make this very brief. All the invitations have been sent out. We've invited former and present board members, former and present house managers, city liaison as well, city council, Longmont Historic Preservation Commission, Longmont Museum Advisory Board, of course, Eric Mason and Elizabeth Beaudoin as well, the Longmont Chamber of Commerce, and the Longmont Downtown Development Authority. So if
Can you
anyone thinks
email
of
that
Yes.
list?
Yes, I
Just
can.
email that to me so I can put it in
Yes, I
minutes.
can. Thank
Were
you.
we going to invite the director for the Visitors Association as well?
If you can provide me the email, I would be happy to. Yes. So that is where we're at with that. We will need to set up a committee meeting between now and then, of course, because we do have our RSVP date is the 26th, and so by that time, that we will already have who's doing what preparations under Chef Maureen in set, and then we will just know how much in quantity as of the 26th, which is a week in advance of the event.
Are you
So
willing to do the cupcakes
that in
still, or
mind,
is that- How about
a
cookies?
fall
Cookies
tea,
could work.
a committee meeting
That works.
that needs to happen is, let's see, and I
Just
would
tell me
encourage
what kind.
everyone,
Go
if
from there.
possible,
Just tell me what kind
come
of
to
sugar.
this because it is going to include everyone. So
We're still talking about the fall tea, right?
right, right. So this is going to be the preparation committee meeting that sets us up for our event on the 6th, and then it's done.
Okay, when?
The let's see. We
My
have
life is just going crazy.
the 23rd. We have the. You know what?
Jeff, let me get your cell phone at the end of this.
Yeah.
Saying this out loud so I don't forget.
Okay.
The 16th. We have the 23rd. We have the 18th. So, is it possible? I'm thinking, is it possible to piggyback off of another meeting? So, is it possible to piggyback off of the 23rd? The meeting on the 23rd that we have at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Is that possible for Candy and Julie? Jeff, I know you're questioning about it's a little
Right, probably not.
unsure, but we can communicate.
Yeah.
Okay. Julie, how about
I'm sorry, what date did
And
you
the
say?
25th was off the table?
3rd?
25th was
Busy?
off the table. I can't do it, and that's Questers. We're going to have Questers
Okay,
here.
okay.
So,
So on the 23rd, Candy, is that all right for you?
Yeah, what day? The
It
23rd?
is Tuesday, the 23rd.
What time?
it'd
I'd
piggyback
say
off the digital.
10 o'clock. We
10
can
o'clock.
piggyback off of the digitized scrapbook meeting. 10 o'clock.
I mean, you're starting at 9 that morning,
Yes,
right?
I know.
That's on
Right.
that.
Not
9, okay.
That's that. But this for the fall tea would be 10 o'clock.
I'm not available Tuesday mornings anymore.
Not Tuesday mornings. Okay. Okay. Well, switch gears. Can we go?
Is there a different
can we
day
go
that
the
week for
afternoon?
anybody? I mean, I can look at other times at the.
Because I wasn't on the scrapbook committee, so that
No,
did
no, no.
not
Right.
matter. But-
Oh,
but
that's
for
right.
the, if you're
Right.
piggybacking on.
No. Are you available in the afternoon that day? I mean, we
Yeah,
could-
in the mornings, but not afternoons.
You're
I'm not available Tuesday mornings
not
anymore.
available Tuesday mornings. Okay. Sorry, I was confused. So in the afternoon, how about we go with the 23rd in the afternoon?
Is the house?
That's fine.
Would
Brittany's still on vacation.
would
I will come over.
would
I'll come over
a
to you
1
guys.
o'clock be okay?
September 23rd at 1 o'clock now?
Yes.
So you're going to keep your morning 9 to 10, and then okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And I have a luckily technology is so great. I have an online meeting at 1, so I won't be here. I'll just be up and be working.
Okay.
I'll see you guys. Okay.
We'll
And I'm
do
fine on the 18th.
committee meeting for
The
that
afternoon is on your teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
September 23rd at 1
The
p.m.
morning was a
All right.
problem, but the afternoon is fine.
And that will get us prepared for the fall tea completely. We'll be good. Okay. Then last item of new business is the Santa visit. So what kind of update might you have?
I don't know, but outside of just the registration update, everything else is kind of the only update is that we're going to do a lottery system, and so one household will be able to. One name will go into the lottery for the time that they want. We're going to let them, I think, select up to 3 times within the 15-minute window. So it will look very similar to the way it did last year, where you've got 3 to 3:15, 3:15 to 3:30, or whatever the times are, with the built-in break for Santa, and then there's an allotted number of households that can sign up. So for the first 15 minutes, one entry would get you up to 5 family members. So you're not putting in grandma and grandpa and uncle and 2 kiddos. You're just saying, I'm registering myself for my family, which allows me to bring up to 5 people for that time slot.
Okay.
Then there will be, we call it a lottery spin. So we can take, if we're only going to pick 4, but we'll let 8 register, then we do the lottery spin. The 4 people get allotted that selection. They get awarded right away. They can either accept or deny it, which then allows if they're like, okay, well, I got in actually at 3:30, so I can remove my entry at a different, or I can take the list off at a different time. It gives them an opportunity to pick what works best for them, but one person can't sign up for every single slot.
Oh.
Sounds like good.
Yep.
Okay, so when's that open up again?
November, gosh, I think it's the Monday before Thanksgiving is when we have it open up. So the 17th, I believe, is when we open that up for registration. And it'll be open for the entire week because we won't technically sell out as like we have in the past and then just incur a wait list. Instead, it'll be the whole week. People can put their names on the list, and then we'll do the lottery spin after that week. And then people will know their slots before Thanksgiving.
And so that will be advertised through the Thursday
Constant Contact, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And then also through the Callahan House
Yes.
guest list?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks. Is that everything for that?
I think so.
And we're going to
Excellent.
have it decorated.
Yeah,
We have a
for the
great
home
plan.
store. Yes.
For the
we'll
home
already-
Yeah, I'm
store.
excited.
Yeah,
The house will look.
Because that'll be a toy
I
tree.
think it'll be cool.
so
It'll look
have
different for
fun.
the people who have come every year to see Santa, and
Right.
now that you have a whole different vibe in the house, that'll be really cool.
Yeah.
So,
Should
yeah.
be nice.
So on that note, I think that wraps up Santa visit.
Just one other thing that
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
made me realize before, we had set some decorating dates. November 4th and 5th, I believe. Are
Yes.
those on the calendar there?
Let me get to November. They aren't on the house calendar.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
know if Brittany was the one who was going to reserve that, or was.
Brittany was supposed to.
Okay.
Well, let's hold off on that because we need to figure out.
Wednesday we have clubs here, but so the Tuesday is the 4th. You're talking November 4th.
We
Yes.
really have to probably talk to Brittany about this to get it all
Okay, sure.
figured out because we have to come in here as a committee first
Sure.
and have a couple days to get
Mhm.
everything organized before we have them come in and decorate. So,
Yeah, I mean November is a slower month than October. And slower than September.
Okay,
that's
cool.
for sure.
All right, so we don't
Yeah.
have anything on the calendar definitely yet. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. All right. So that'll wrap
It
up
might be on
Santa
her personal
visit.
calendar. I'm not. But I can look at her personal calendar. I don't know why she wouldn't have put it on the house though.
No, I think
No.
let's talk.
I think we
Let's
just
talk about
cut
it.
through
Let's,
that.
let's talk about it later, though, because we've got time to get to that. Do you have any items from staff?
I didn't mention up in restoration and preservation, but this is just in case not everybody knows that we're like officially out to bid for the furniture restoration project. And part of the bid is that that the parties or companies that would be interested in is sort of required for them to come to the house and see the furniture. Otherwise, they're not going to be as highly considered as those who have come and actually looked at what needs the restoration. So right now, Pam Roding in purchasing is kind of she is the contact person that is initially receiving the bids and quotes from and the scope of work from the potential companies, but those organizations are also then being asked to reach out to me in Brittany's absence to schedule a time to come see the furniture. So that's just where that is at right now. So it wasn't a hook, line, sinker with the original ask to go with Memory Lane at this point. So we just needed to go back out and get some more bids that were a little bit more along the same.
comparable.
Yes, that's a great. Thank you for that word. Yes, so that's where that's at right now. That's really all I have on that. But I know that Memory Lane will resubmit their quote and their scope of work, and I have heard from 2 other companies at this point to
Okay,
come see the
because
furniture.
the last ones we saw weren't even in the same.
Yeah, and Pam has sought out companies that seem, at least based on their website, seem very reputable and in the line of what exactly we're looking for. So that's just where it's at right now.
So once the bids come, what's the process of reviewing them, analyzing them, and making a final decision?
I think I have to ask Pam when she has the window closed of when people can submit their bids, but I know it was open for a longer time so that people could schedule to come see the actual. But once that closes, the bids that are submitted is then purchasing can review them and give them to Brittany to look over as well.
So does Brittany and or the board have
Any
are they
further
able to review and
I don't see
State
why.
of-
I don't
state
see
of
why not. This is the
opinion.
first time that we've had to go through such an like high level because I think the dollar amount is the highest we've outside of the grant that we got to do all the work, and because we weren't getting other outside companies submitting their bids to be comparable with what Memory Lane was doing. I don't see why we can't. I mean, we have in the past shared those bids with you, so.
Okay, good. I think it's very important to a lot of people, this work.
Absolutely.
So I think it's important that everyone has a chance to at least
We've already.
review.
Yeah, and I mean,
We've already
purchasing knows
received-
our preference, and we said it in that last meeting that we were hopeful that we would be able to, make our case of what specifically needs to be done is so unique in nature that we, again, and I remember Ben saying this, we can always suggest what we want, but purchasing has the final.
Correct.
I understand
So, yeah.
that, but we've also are receiving outside funds. Quester has donated money for this, and I know the state president's fund is all going for the restoration based on the original numbers that we were giving for that, and I'm also writing a grant.
And we did put a budget request in of our own Callahan House
Yeah.
funds, which I recall, which at this point it has been proposed. The budget has not been accepted for 26, but it is in our proposed budget for this restoration project to be used out of the Callahan House. I don't know if someone were to, like, if the Questers were fully funding it, I don't know if.
What the whole goal is. The
But
bottom
they're,
line
I
is,
mean, the quote is going to be clearly 30,000 and above.
yes,
You know.
and we've given the money for the table and the chairs. I mean, and we're
But we
getting
don't know what the tables and chairs are going to cost depending on who we go with at this point.
we based them off of the original
Sure.
bid that we were
Right,
given.
I-
The higher
yes.
bid, yeah.
The higher bid. We are also putting our state funds for that, and I'm writing a national grant as of November that, of course, I won't know if we receive it until May of next year. But, of next year. And so, based off the original numbers. So if we receive and cover all the funds, guess
There
if
still
we
is
don't.
there still is a policy and procedure
Yeah.
with purchasing. We cannot just handpick a company that we want out. It is that goes back to that vendor question I had in the past of, well, we can't play favorites or we can't hand select as a government agency. So all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that we're not going to go with memory lane. At this point, it is open to the greater good. We have companies down in Denver that are submitting quotes and
Which is good. If we get somebody and it costs us less, woohoo! But I'm going for the original numbers, and once those numbers are in, whatever is above and beyond that, these are written in a grant format. These funds will be used for restoration.
Yeah, and in order to secure the money from our house fund, we had to submit that back in budget time.
I understand.
So we were
It's a
kind of,
timeline.
we had to ask for the money because we weren't guaranteed funding from outside sources, and there's only a window of opportunity to submit things for budget. So
Okay.
So more to come hopefully by the next meeting on that, and maybe have some information to share with the board of who's really got their hands in the game for that.
Okay.
And then the only things Brittany wanted me to mention that I know we talked briefly on how to spend your own money and then get reimbursed, or how that works for those like Christmas, holiday decorations, and
The tea in particular. We're also talking about.
yes.
the whole thing.
I think that there was discussion of what would a dollar amount be of what you were intending on spending for the tea. Let me reference for the tea. To do what we have as a petty cash reimbursement form, it is only for up to $100. So the form itself, so if you were to go somewhere and spend $320, I can reimburse you $100 of that per the form. Now, if there's 6 forms because you spent $600, generally the petty cash forms are not for purchase reimbursements outside of one-offs here and there, at least from my experience,
yes.
or their mileage reimbursements for people who are driving on city time. We also don't reimburse for tax sales because we don't pay sales tax as a government entity. So when we get you the form, if that's the way you guys want to go, outside of the decorations, I could see if you found something online or a link to somewhere Brittany could purchase that. The greenery, the bulbs, such, so on and so forth. Brittany could definitely help purchase that on her end. But for the fall tea, goodies for the fall tea, that is how the reimbursement works. You'd have to keep your receipt. It would have to be submitted with the form, and it is only up to $100 in the transaction.
The bottom line is, we put the tea on last year. We made the food. We ate the cost. You'll never.
Yeah, no,
reimburse
I hear you guys said it last meeting that it should be on the house to pay for that. I'm sharing a way for you to get your money back outside of you telling Brittany your ingredient list, your order. She can buy those items herself if you want to do it that way, but if you prefer to go to the store and shop, you need to have a copy of your receipt, and I would not purchase anything more than $100 in a single transaction.
There's no
That's
house
helpful advice.
fund
Okay.
that we can spend.
I can't give you
Towards
her.
those
I cannot give you her cash to go spend.
But she
But
has
I-
a purchasing card that she
Right.
could use.
Yeah. So if you know what you want, and Brittany can use her purchasing card and charge it to the house fund. Absolutely. When I reimburse you, it will also come out of the house fund.
But that'll work for the Christmas stuff, but not for the tea stuff so well.
Not unless she wants
Yeah.
to go shopping with me, and I'm very particular. So,
Which is an option. If you guys scheduled a time to go to King Supers or whatever your store is,
hell no, I'm going to King
or Whole Foods or wherever, you
But
know.
yeah.
Those are our options for money. So Brittany can either purchase it with her P card if you get a list of what needs to be purchased, or maybe she can take off some of the items that you need for the tea, like big things, and then the more nuanced things you buy and then get reimbursed via the petty cash form.
Or we rethink it and order this stuff. I mean, I'm willing to donate my daughter's cookies. That's no problem. But you have the bulk of
Well, the tea sandwiches, all the scones.
right, exactly. So do we
The
hire it? I mean, that's something
it'll
to
break
think
the
about.
bank. It's going to be very expensive. The bottom line is, I donate my time and treasure in the sense of, I will make all the stuff and I can make scones and that's not a problem. And I have the refrigerator space and the ovens and everything to do it. And then what I have done is assigned tea sandwiches to certain board members that can do things, and they're pretty simple. And then we just set up a tea, and it's just, I don't want to eat all the cost.
No.
Like I
Yeah,
did.
no, and
No, so
this is
maybe
us just trying to provide the
source
answers
it
of
out.
how we can help.
I do
Buying
know
fruit things for
I-
This is helpful
not as
information
easy.
to work
it
with.
is,
Yeah.
and I just, it's a budget issue. It's a budget issue.
Yeah,
because
we're not saying no, Maureen. We're not saying
No,
we have
it's,
to buy
but
it.
it's helpful
We're
to
trying
know.
do
It's
the
helpful
process.
to know the process and the limits per transaction, and the options to purchase. Okay.
We ran numbers last time. Karen, you had those numbers on what we basically got it down per person was what?
It was, I can be very specific. I need to be a
I
little
didn't
brief
bring
because
those
we do need
cost
to
sheets.
close
Yeah.
our meeting soon, but yes, the numbers,
So we have multiple transactions, up to $100.
yeah.
I mean, I think that Brittany would like to know what kind of money you are
Right.
spending before.
Oh, yeah.
That's that initial fee.
We're not
Like, what,
serving.
what is the tea
we're not,
going to
We're not going to
cost
serve
us?
caviar or
Yeah.
anything like that. We're not going overboard. We're talking tea sandwiches and scones and clotted cream and lemon curd and homemade raspberry jam and
Yeah, the grocery
Yummy
bills
things.
add up.
So
I know
good.
that food
But-
costs a lot of money.
From
these days, so.
last month, what we reported was what we'd done the year prior. Basically, it was about total of $300. Dividing
And that
it
was a
over
smaller-
25 people.
Smaller group. Mm-hmm.
Again, dividing over 25 people, it was about $12 per person. So that's the approximate cost from the last.
And how many people this year?
How many people have you invited? Invitations
A
just
lot.
went out, so.
Plenty, but I don't have numbers yet, and so I
Is it
frankly,
double, do you
we
think?
are just beginning, maybe double, maybe. But we are just beginning to get RSVPs. So
Okay.
I will know more
Yeah, cool.
as we get closer.
As we get closer, so.
Here's the thought: I might take Brittany with me and we'll just go a shopping.
That's, yeah. That's,
And the other, I think we mentioned, and I'm sorry, I know we're going over, but the whole nuance of this is that there is not another board meeting before you have this fall tea. Is-
Right.
Yeah.
Which is
Okay.
why we have a committee
Yeah.
meeting.
That's why.
So we will be completing and wrapping
And,
everything up.
and Brittany is not here at the committee meeting also, so just
know.
more,
We will
more
be-
things that I'm,
Yeah, it's
more wrenches
it's getting
are thrown.
tight. This
Yeah.
is this is why it's
Yeah,
the
we're
time
about-
limit.
less than a month away, so.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Okay.
Nothing else for me.
Now keep in mind the 26th is the RSVP date, so she'll be back.
That one is
then.
that day. I'm getting all
And,
these
and that is when we
Okay.
will know numbers, and that is when we will do our purchasing. So
The
they're-
26th
thereafter.
of September?
October. I'm sorry, the RSVP is the 26th of September.
That's a Friday.
Yes, it is a Friday. And so
Oh,
that's when we-
RSVP day.
RSVP.
Right.
We will know how many to plan
Following
for. So we will
Yeah.
know on the 26th how much to purchase.
Yep, yep,
Okay, all right.
Cool. Yeah.
So Brittany will be back by then. We're
Yes.
good. We're
Yes.
good.
Cool.
All right. Any other items from staff?
just thank you. Slowing down and getting me up to speed a little bit. Appreciate it.
It's very nice meeting you.
Thank you.
And,
Y'all.
and then
Hearing things that you don't know about.
I know, I'm like, I know I have so many questions.
Yeah. We can help you out later.
and then the items from board. Does anyone have items from board? I do have
We
one.
went to the Titanic exhibit on Monday, and it was so awesome, especially the virtual
Where's it at right
reality in Denver. I can't tell you exactly where it is. It's an old hotel that's just off of I-25.
Okay.
Just Google it and you'll find it. But it's really cool, very cool. Virtual reality was awesome, so
Very
it was
nice.
a fun thing to do.
There's a couple of things. The Questers, we went up and had a tour of the historic Stanley home, and boy, are we on top of things in comparison. Of course, they've had a really late start of getting into it, but they are very much operating like a museum and not like a
They are 501c3.
yeah, and
They are.
instead of a venue like we have. So they're taking it all the way back. They're taking glass porches and rescreening and doing all sorts of things. It's very interesting, but they're in the process of purchasing original furniture that has been lost. So that's going to be interesting because it was a family home and they're converting it. That was fun. And then I also had the opportunity to go to the fundraiser for the museum, which is always lovely, the soiree, and they raised funds to do the decorating on the inside of the building as well, and they received all those funds, and that was something to be seen on how they have operated. And I think we've done good to base how we are wanting to fundraise off of them. And then I also attended on Saturday, I went to the Rhythm at Roosevelt, and that was a nice program.
To the what? I'm sorry.
The Rhythm on at Roosevelt, which was a nice event and really good
The final
music.
one.
I know,
Yeah.
which is sad,
Yeah, it is.
but
I saw you there.
anyway. So,
Okay. Well, thank you. Anything else? I have one piece of news that's unfortunate. Diana is resigning from the board. And this is her letter. I'm sorry, I made enough for...
That's okay.
We can make a copy for you too, but otherwise it would be for...
Yeah.
But and I did talk with her after she provided that to me and just asked, is there anything we could do differently, and is there anything we could do to change her mind? And she said no, she didn't. She just really felt like she wasn't pulling her weight on the board. She felt like she wasn't doing. She felt like she was not prepared. It's in her letter, and it's well written, and the way she says it
So this is-
how she feels. She just didn't feel like she was contributing.
and this is effective immediately.
Yes, and so she's a bit regretful, but didn't realize what she was getting into, and so. But wishing her well and grateful for her honesty and that the care that she's shown throughout her time on the board has been nice. So anyway,
I regret because if we would have known, we had other people that applied for the board, and we missed opportunities.
I think something we need to be making sure that we're doing, and I think we did do a good job of it in the recorded interviews of explaining kind of the time expectation and commitment, and then the committee work and all. I think it's just something that we definitely need to make sure we're open and honest with people about as they're applying. So, or as we're seeking people who might be interested to apply. It's important that we be honest with them about that. So,
Yes.
That's I certainly understand. It's unfortunate that she's not able to continue. So I feel bad about that.
She's
But-
got a lot
but
of
understand.
things coming up in her personal calendar that conflict with
certainly
the
understand.
house plans. So yeah.
Okay, it's 11:44.
Yes. So at this
Okay.
point,
So do we have
when-
a process to replace her with someone?
Right now, we don't.
There are two.
What
There are
we
two
do
times
know-
a year that we do
Yeah.
applications, and we can talk about it the next one too.
Right.
It's
And
coming
because-
up.
Because the next one will be more on point with application time. In it, so yeah,
But
it's,
kind of in your back of your mind,
We-
think of people.
and for the next, for future, just so you know, for
Yeah.
future agenda items, please put the 2025 annual report, because I'll have a draft of that ready for us to be working on in October. So that can be a new business item for October agenda. So it's 11:44. I apologize for over the time, but we did as best as we
Yeah.
could. Is there a motion to adjourn?
And I move that we adjourn.
Maureen, thank you for the motion
I'll
to
second.
adjourn, and Justin for the second. All in agreement? Everyone
I'm
okay?
sorry, Maureen and Jeffrey?
Yes, thank you, and it's unanimous. Thank you so much.
I apologize.